must either substantiate or withdraw that particular and second, he must show us
that is a fair request.
He must show us a clause in the bill that is referring to Honorable Speaker.
Honorable Nyoro, that you must do.
Honorable Speaker, I have never seen a situation where, in public participation, a person volunteers information for them to be taxed more, Honorable Speaker, for them to be taken through horror, Honorable Speaker. This is the first time, Honorable Speaker, that we are seeing, Honorable Speaker, purported public participants, Honorable Speaker.
Order, please. Order, please. You know we must be the orderly if we are going to debate. Honorable Ndindi Nyoro, you cannot stand at your place having said you yourself attended, then at the same time say the committee manufactured, participants. That one, I insist, and I order you to withdraw.
Honorable Speaker, I attended as a participant. And actually, I requested through Parliament. And the more the reason they never carried my proposals, Honorable Speaker. The legitimate proposals were not carried, Honorable Speaker. I am not withdrawing.
Honorable Ndindi Nyoro. Honorable Ndindi Nyoro. Honorable Ndindi Nyoro. Honorable Ndindi Nyoro. I'm on my feet. Honorable Ndindi Nyoro, when the Speaker orders you to withdraw, and you see the Speaker asking for the standing orders, please don't take the Speaker the direction he does not want to go. Please withdraw. It is an order and it is not subject to review.
Honorable Speaker, because I'll be proposing amendments, and I don't want you to throw me out to disadvantage Kenyans, I withdraw. Honorable Speaker.
Order. Yeah, so the withdrawal is accepted, and let us avoid a situation in which we provoke unnecessary motions in debate. I sat here and I said all members need to have their time on the finance bill. Let us agree to continue in that manner.
Honorable Speaker, the point I'm making is this. I have sat here in this house and I've seen people purporting to direct members on how to debate. I am here telling Kenyans that this parliament through the committee is proposing an increment of prices on the tubers, Honorable Speaker. But they'll purport here, show me the clothes, show me this. We are intelligent and Kenyans are intelligent. Even if you hide before and above, even if you hide below semantic.
Give the mic to the chair, Committee on Finance, on a point of order. But maybe for clarity, are Mitumbas taxed now? If so, what is proposed now? Could you just clarify that?
Honorable Speaker, and I really want to urge my comrade, Honorable Ndindi Nyoro, to take his time to read the bill. Just simple text of reading. Currently, Mitumbas in this country are taxed at standard rate of 16%. That is a fact. Now, as we speak, the VAT Act imposes 16% VAT on Mitumba. Once the importers of Mitumba sell those particular Mitumbas, Honorable Speaker, they are also subjected to 30% corporation tax on their profit, Honorable Speaker. What the bill is actually proposing is to exempt VAT, Mitumba from VAT. So the proposal here, Honorable Speaker, and that's why when we challenge you to, on facts, go to just simple read the bill, tell us where are we increasing taxation on Mitumba. The bill actually is proposing to exempt Mitumba from VAT, and that is a fact.
Honorable Ndindi Nyoro, where are new taxes proposed on Mitumba?
Honorable Speaker, it is disappointing that the chairman has not read his own report, Honorable Speaker. And I kept saying here, we are debating the bill, but you are also debating the committee report, Honorable Speaker. And no one will purport here to guide me on how to debate. Kenyans will gauge who is talking the truth in the next few weeks.
Honorable Ndindi Nyoro. Honorable Ndindi Nyoro. Order, honorable members. Honorable Ndini Nyoro, in which clause is Mutumba taxes being increased?
Honorable Speaker, I am repeating for the 18th time. I am at no obligation to tell anyone anything other than debating, Honorable Speaker. And Honorable Speaker, we are debating both the bill, but you're also debating the committee, Honorable Speaker. We cannot hide above and below semantics. Order! Order, honorable members.
I've given the majority leader the mic. So you will raise after the majority leader. Yeah, please, majority
Honorable
leader.
Speaker. Honorable Speaker, you know, my brother, Honorable Ndini Nyoro, says he's under no obligation to be directed, and in fact, nobody seeks to direct him. What the point of order the chair spoke on?
Take your seat. Honorable Kaguchia. That is honorable. When the speaker is on his feet, you take your seat. Honorable Majority Leader, proceed.
Honorable Speaker, I was saying the guidance you sought from Honorable Ndini Nyoro was on the clause that is taxing Mitumba in the bill or the proposal in the report of the committee that is proposing that. The chair has clarified that. And all that Honorable Ndini Nyoro is doing is now to throw words as the chair and the speaker, because he cannot substantiate. And Honorable Speaker, I know people want to shout and mislead Kenyans on record. But we also have an obligation, Honorable Speaker, to set the record straight. Just like the Honorable Ndini Nyoro purported that there are roadside declarations on pay as you earn. And there is nowhere in our report or in the bill that pay as you earn was touched. But when the Cabinet Secretary appeared before this House last week, he did clarify that the proposal on pay as you earn is coming in a different proposal before the House to be considered by the House, and therefore all this heckling, Honorable Speaker, you know I'm the last person to be dissuaded by hecklers. I know they have been instructed that they must be here to come and heckle. But you must use your brains and intellect to debate, not to come and shout aimlessly in the House. Use your brains and intellect to debate, not to shout. When you shout, Honorable Speaker, you are simply exposing to Kenyans, just like the leaders who are misleading people out there. You are not utilizing your heads.
Be upstanding. Honorable Wamboka. Honorable members, the time being 19:05 p.m., this House, order! Honorable Kibagendi, Honorable Majimbo Kalasenga, we are adjourning the House, please. Honorable members, and the time being 19:05 p.m., this House stands adjourned until Wednesday, the 17th day of June at 9:30 a.m.
We started back in 2014 selling only here in Australia. When we jumped on Shopify within a year, it allowed us to touch all the markets around the world.
In the last year alone, we've grown over 500% online sales. If we can ship there, we can sell there now, thanks to Shopify.
Honorable Speaker of Justice, Honorable Speaker, it is important that in international best practice that you allowed, Honorable Speaker, to know the source of information that Honorable Speaker you are being accused of, and not having that burden on the taxpayer. The burden of it's called the principle of burden of proof, Honorable Speaker, should be on the commissioner and not on the taxpayer. A taxpayer should not be allowed to self-incriminate themselves in terms of their tax liabilities, Honorable Speaker. Clause 43 is proposing to introduce a one-year tax amnesty under the Tax Procedures Act, running from 1st of July 2026 to 30th of June 2027. The amnesty, Honorable Speaker, will apply to tax liabilities accrued up to 31st December 2025 and will allow taxpayers to regularize outstanding obligations by paying the principal tax due within the amnesty period. Upon fulfillment of the prescribed conditions, penalties, interest, and fines relating to the eligible tax debts will be waived. The proposal intends to provide a final time-bound opportunity for taxpayers to settle historic tax liabilities, enhance compliance, and improve revenue collection for outstanding tax, Honorable Speaker. So this particular tax proposal, Honorable Speaker, is expected. When we had a tax amnesty in 2023, we facilitated in terms of outstanding debt liabilities that attracted 1.6 million shillings. When we did this tax amnesty in 2023, we had 1.6 million tax.
I'd hate to interrupt you, but I just want to recognize the school which is here, and then you can continue. Honorable members, I wish to recognize the presence in the purple gallery of students from the Kibirio Konin Junior School, Baringo North, in Baringo County. Please, any member from those sides of Baringo? Yes, the lady at the back there. Mheshimiwa, continue. Honorable.
That if you do your school very well, if you learn very well, one time you'll find yourselves in this house or in other better places. This is a house where we legislate, where we make the laws of this honorable country, and I want to encourage all of you that...
Woman rep from Taita Taveta, you can encourage the students up here in Kiswahili also, because we need also to hear.
Asante sana Bwana Spika kwa kunipatia hii fursa, na mimi nichukue fursa hii kuweza kuwakaribisha wanafunzi kutoka mashule mbalimbali na vile vile kuwakaribisha wote. Hapo awali nilikuwa na opinion leaders kutoka Taita Taveta hapa, na nataka kuwaambia wakaribie hapa bunge Taita Taveta vile vile. So kwa jumla nawaambia karibu sana bunge. Hapa ndo tunatunga sheria, hapa kunakuwa na majadiliano ya kuboresha hii Kenya yetu, na kwa hivyo wajisikie vizuri kuwa hapa na wawe na wakati mwema hapa bungeni na hapa Nairobi. Asante.
Where is Honorable Makilap?
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. May I also take this opportunity on behalf of the people of Baringo North Comprehensive School for visiting Parliament, together with their teachers and representatives of parents, that this is the house where the people of Baringo North send me to serve them in doing legislation, oversight, and representation. If you work hard, students, you will find yourself here or any sector of government it only calls upon you to be disciplined and hardworking. There are only two things: hard work, discipline will take you places across the world and across Kenya. I want to welcome them again, and the future is bright. That is one of the brightest schools, the school that does very well.
Continue with your presentation.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I was discussing the issue of tax amnesty, Honorable Speaker. When this Honorable House in the Finance Act of 2023 provided for a window for tax amnesty, Honorable Speaker, we had 1 million applications, Honorable Speaker, that were lodged by the Kenya Revenue Authority. To the Kenya Revenue Authority, this, Honorable Speaker, resulted to 54.5 billion shillings in declared principal tax, and 43.9 billion shillings was collected between September 2023 and June 2024, Honorable Speaker. So it's important. There has been demonstration that when there is provision of a tax amnesty, Honorable Speaker, then we have taxpayers that go and offer to pay their principal tax, and therefore, when you pay your principal tax, all your interest and penalties, Honorable Speaker, are forgiven. Honorable Speaker, however, the committee noted that although this provides a very good relief to taxpayers, Honorable Speaker, it is very dangerous for the country, Honorable Speaker. And it could actually be termed as being unfair, Honorable Speaker, because last year's, if there was any penalty, if there was any interest, then that means I paid both my principal tax, my interest, Honorable Speaker. It would mean that someone who did not pay their interest. So me for me who paid my interest and penalties, Honorable Speaker, then I would be disadvantaged. Honorable Speaker, some of the taxpayers were saying then, if you are going to forgive all interest and penalties for those who do not pay the interest and penalties this year, then maybe you should also refund those people that pay their interest and penalties, Honorable Speaker, for it to be fair. So we advise, Honorable Speaker, that although this, of course, will ensure there is enhancement of revenue collection, it's going to provide a relief to those people, Honorable Speaker, who had a difficult economic time. Honorable Speaker, we had still carry so that people do not continuously fail to honor the obligations because expecting, Honorable Speaker, that next year but one, there is to be a tax amnesty, Honorable Speaker. Clause 45, Honorable Speaker, is proposing to amend the Tax Procedures Act to allow the Commissioner to issue agency notices for the recovery of tax where a matter has been determined in favor of the Commissioner and to stay order and no stay order has been granted. Under the current FRICO framework, the issuance of agency notices is restricted once a taxpayer lodges an appeal, even in circumstances where the tax appeals tribunal or a court has already determined the matter in favor of the Commissioner, thereby, Honorable Speaker, delaying recovery of tax in the absence of a stay order. The proposed amendment is seeking to align tax recovery procedures with the principle that the filing of an appeal does not on its own suspend enforcement unless a stay is granted, thereby facilitating timely recovery of confirmed tax liabilities when preserving the taxpayer's right to seek a stay from the relevant forum, Honorable Speaker. During stakeholder engagement, concerns were raised regarding the proposed expansion of the Commissioner's enforcement powers. The Law Society of Kenya, that was represented by the Vice President, Resia Bavinya Nicholas, the Council members and members of Tax Committee raised concerns over the reintroduction of proposals that were previously been rejected, including the changes to appeal timelines and expanded agency notice powers. The Law Society observed that permitting agency notices during the pendency of objections, appeals, alternative dispute resolution processes, or court proceedings could undermine the taxpayer's right to challenge tax decisions, weaken dispute resolution safeguards, and affect access to justice, Honorable Speaker. And this, Honorable Speaker, they noted that this would be in contradiction of Articles 47, 48, and 50 of our Constitution, Honorable Speaker. And therefore, this committee, Honorable Speaker, and our committee of the whole House will be recommending further amendments, Honorable Speaker, to ensure that taxpayer, yes, has a chance to fair justice, Honorable Speaker, but also that there is no, but also Kenya Revenue Authority is able to make their collections on time, Honorable Speaker. Clause 47 is proposing to remove the provisions introduced under the Finance Act 2025 to allow overpaid tax to be offset against tax payable on imported goods as well as domestic tax liabilities. Previously, verified VAT refunds could be offset against the taxpayer's future domestic tax obligations, including income tax, installment tax, excise duty, and future VAT liabilities. The proposal is sent to align a tax administration to ensure that refund offsets remain within the appropriate domestic tax framework while maintaining consistency with the customs regime which governs tax payable art importation and on imports would adversely affect taxpayers' cash flows and increase working capital pressures, and therefore the committee will be proposing further amendment to this particular clause, Honourable Speaker. Clause 48 is proposing to amend Section 89(5)(a) of the TPA Act without requiring the approval of the Cabinet Secretary National Treasury, Honourable Speaker. Honourable Speaker, the proposal is also intended to facilitate a swift resolution of tax-related tax issues, reduce avoidance disputes, and enhance tax confidence in the use of digital tax administration. Honourable Speaker, the committee notes that with the advanced use of electronic systems for the Kenya Revenue Authority, Honourable Speaker, there are chances that there could be errors that could be not to be designed, that would not be deliberate by a taxpayer, Honourable Speaker, but system errors, Honourable Speaker, that would lead to interest and penalties being waived unfairly on the taxpayer, Honourable Speaker. And therefore, it's important that we give a threshold in which, Honourable Speaker, the Commissioner, after satisfying himself that the errors are system generated, then they will be allowed to offset up to a limit of 2 million shillings. Honourable Speaker, Clause 49 is proposing a deletion of Section 77(2) of the Tax Procedures Act, which currently excludes Saturdays, Sundays, and public holidays in the computation of timelines for tax obligations. Honourable Speaker, the existing provision has, however, created uncertainty in the computation of time for various tax processes, including the filing of objections, applications, and other statutory bound actions, Honourable Speaker. This uncertainty is further compounded by the shift to digital tax administration system, including KRA platform and the judiciary e-filing system, which operate beyond conventional working days. This amendment is therefore intended to streamline and modernize the computation of timelines within the tax system. The committee observed that including weekends and public holidays in the computation of timelines for tax objections and appeals would effectively shorten the period available to taxpayers to exercise their rights. This may increase the risk of procedural default, particularly where deadlines fall immediately after non-working days. The committee noted that the proposal raises concerns regarding procedural fairness and the right to a fair hearing under Article 50 of our Constitution, as it limits taxpayers' ability to adequately prepare and lodge objections or appeals. The committee is therefore recommending deletion of this particular proposal to ensure that taxpayers are offered a reasonable and practical period within which to exercise their statutory rights, Honourable Speaker. The committee observed that they need to strengthen enforcement framework for recovery of government revenue collected by KRA on behalf of government agencies, Honourable Speaker. The committee notes that although several levies, for example, including the housing levy, KRA has been given the authority under the respective statutes as the collecting agents, Honourable Speaker. Most of these particular agencies, Honourable Speaker, KRA has not been given enforcement powers, Honourable Speaker. And therefore, we note that it is very important that it's important to have now a consequential amendment to amend the Affordable Housing Act, for example, to include, to give to raise, first of all, the current rate that for agency fees collected from 0.5 to making it a maximum of 2%, Honourable Speaker, but most importantly, to give KRA the power to enforce the collection of these levies, Honourable Speaker. Honourable Speaker, the committee proposes, these proposals reflect not only stakeholders' input, but sound economic reasoning grounded in Keynesian fiscal stimulus principles. The Finance Bill of 2026 is supporting aggregate demand, is promoting employment, is stimulating economic growth through targeted incentives in housing, manufacturing, and green technology, while at the same time preserving fiscal discipline, Honourable Speaker. Honourable Speaker, as we deliberate on the Finance Bill of 2026, it is imperative that we prioritize measures that effectively expand the tax base while at the same time maintaining a balance with the broader economic environment, which may include, Honourable Speaker, innovative tax policy approaches, including incentivizing compliance, simplifying tax procedures, and addressing structural barriers that constrain revenue growth, Honourable Speaker. Mr. Speaker, addressing these issues proactively and implementing effective tax policies will help increase our tax revenue collection in line with the economic potential. This will strengthen our fiscal position, allowing for investments in key sectors, social welfare programs, and infrastructure development, fostering sustainable economic growth to benefit all Kenyans. Honourable Speaker, this enormous task has been possible through the collective commitment and cooperation of all those who contributed to the legislative process. The committee's work was greatly enriched by submissions, views, and insights provided by stakeholders, members of the public, and various institutions, which ensured that the bill was considered from a broad and inclusive perspective. Our engagement, Honorable Speaker, received views from across 13 different countries, Honorable Speaker, and it's very important, Honorable Speaker, to note that we received over 100,000 submissions from members of the public. Honorable Speaker, one of the greatest things, and I'm happy that this Honorable House has been able to achieve, Honorable Speaker, is tax education is now in the lips of every Kenyan. Honorable Speaker, it was amazing to go to counties like Wajir and counties like Turkana and listen to ordinary citizens explaining the difference between the first and second schedule of the VAT Act, the difference between between zero rating and exempting, Honorable Speaker. And this shows that Kenyans are willing to be involved in the running of the affairs of this country, Honorable Speaker. I am happy that this time around, and I'd like really to congratulate our Cabinet Secretary for National Treasury, FCPA Bandi, Honorable Speaker, but for going out of his way to try to explain to Kenyans and to demystify all the misinformation and disinformation out there, Honorable Speaker. Because I think previously the Finance Bill, Honorable Speaker, used to be left to be a baby of this House, Honorable Speaker, and the executive will just dump it on us and leave us to explain to the members of the public. But I'm very impressed that this time around the National Treasury, led by the PS and the CS, actively engaged Kenyans so that by the time, Honorable Speaker, we are going to public participation, then we had Kenyans already informed of the particular clauses in that particular bill, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, it's also important to mention that one of the constant submissions we got from the members of the public, although lawmaking is a complex process and it's a legal process that must go in a particular way, this House must innovate in how we communicate to members of the public on proposals of the bills, Honorable Speaker. Because on many occasions, even when we provided members of the public with copies of the bills, Honorable Speaker, they would lead and say, Honorable Speaker, some of the clauses in the bill, Honorable Speaker, are usually a deletion of a deletion. So, Honorable Speaker, you read the bill and say you are deleting clause 9. But, Honorable Speaker, when you go now to the proposal say to delete section 9, say, for example, of the Tax Procedures Act, only for you to go to section 9 of the Tax Procedures Act and you say it's a deletion, Honorable Speaker. So it's a deletion of a deletion. And this particular process, Honorable Speaker, makes it very complicated for ordinary Kenyans to understand legal drafting, Honorable Speaker. So I think I throw this to the people in our legal drafters. Let us find a simplified way, a simplified version of how we do our bills, Honorable Speaker, to the members of the public. Honorable Speaker, it's also important to mention, Honorable Speaker, also other Kenyans said that the way we communicate in English, Honorable Speaker, we have 3 official languages. We have English, we have Swahili, and we have sign language, Honorable Speaker. And therefore, it is important that even the bills that are published by this House are published in the 2 official languages, Honorable Speaker, in English and Swahili. So they enable other Kenyans, Honorable Speaker, who would prefer Swahili as a language of choice, Honorable Speaker, to understand our legal process and understand our bills, Honorable Speaker. As we go to the supply of the whole House, Honorable Speaker, Kenyans also really cautioned us on the need to ensure there is value for money for where this money is going, Honorable Speaker. Many Kenyans told us expressly, Honorable Speaker, that they are not opposed to taxation. But, Honorable Speaker, they want to see value for the money where these particular resources are going to. So my urge to all members of the executive, let us be prudent in the use of these financial resources. Let us make sure that these particular resources, when they are supplied to yourselves, go towards value for money, towards economic development, and towards the projects of this particular country, Honorable Speaker. Lastly, Honorable Speaker, the issue of introducing tax deductibility, Honorable Speaker, to Kenyans that are earning below 30,000 shillings was highly canvassed in all our discussion, Honorable Speaker, and is our recommendation to the National Treasury, Honorable Speaker, to go back to the drawing board and let us find a way of waiving, Honorable Speaker, taxpayers or employed Kenyans who earn less than 30,000 shillings. It's also, Honorable Speaker, submissions by institutions like Kenya Bankers Association, Honorable Speaker, that high-income earners are paying up to 35% of income tax, Honorable Speaker, and this particular income tax, they are not allowed to deduct their expenses, and therefore this committee recommends that the National Treasury looks into overhauling all the tax bands, Honorable Speaker, so that because with the increased contributions to SHA and with the affordable housing levy, Honorable Speaker, these have levied a burden on especially salary Kenyans, and therefore important that we reconsider an overhaul of these tax bands, Honorable Speaker. We tried to do that in our report, Honorable Speaker, but realized the data that we need to analyze would be immense. So we asked National Treasury, because we have the tools to do that, let us analyze and do an overhaul on all overpay as you want banks, Honorable Speaker. With those many remarks, again, I want to thank the dedicated team of the members of the Finance and National Committee, Honorable Speaker, our staff that worked through weekends, through the night, Honorable Speaker. We were leaving, even this time to come to this, to do this, our report, we left the hotel in the morning, Honorable Speaker, and I want to thank them for that dedication. Those many remarks, I beg to move, and I ask the Honorable CPA Julius Ruto, the MP for great member of KSS, to second. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Yes, proceed, Honorable.
Thank you so much, Mr. Speaker. May I rise to second this motion on Finance Bill Financial Year 2026. Mr. Speaker, I'm speaking from the ground that I'm also a member of Finance and National Planning Committee, and I did participate all through this particular bill, right after tabling and being committed to the committee, stakeholder engagement, and also participated in county-to-county public participation or public hearing. Mr. Speaker, I want to appreciate my chairman for the leadership that he provided throughout this process. And in truth, how he has read out in brief the content of the finance bill, clause by clause, and not forgetting the views of members of public or stakeholders in every clause that is provided in this bill. As I stand to second this, Mr. Speaker, I want to appreciate that this particular finance bill of this year of 2026 has broadened look at the way of expanding the tax regime than increasing vertically as it used to be before. This is one of the best finance bills that has tried to reorganize the provisions in income tax, provisions in value-added tax, provisions in excise tax, provisions in tax procedures tax, with the objective of reducing the burden on the less taxpayers who have traditionally been known to be contributing to the global tax revenue that finance our budget, and try to accommodate through indirect taxes and deduction of tax expenditure. One of the focus on this particular finance bill, Mr. Speaker, is trying to look at how we are administering our tax expenditure that are increasingly or growing over time to a tune of more than 500 billion a year. It's almost going to 600 or 700 billion or so. That is huge. That, of course, the intention and the objective is to intervene and absorb the burden and pressure on expenditure of disposable income for our taxpayers. However, it is also taking away the advantage and the opportunity to direct resources on the critical expenditure part of our revenue, so that we're able to lessen increasing taxes on the few, but derive a balance on all the hands of the society, so that those who are earning less, those who are earning more, are able to contribute in an equilibrium level and be able to achieve the service together in a fair and distribution. And therefore, this finance bill has looked at the issues of VAT. There are many other elements that have been on zero rated, and trying to evaluate the impact of those zero rated over time and the cost element that is bringing about it. And therefore, this finance bill has sought to be able to address those issues and be able to enable the growing expenditure. Because as we speak right now, the Committee of Supplies is coming in, and the total budget that is being read out is 4.8 trillion, showing there is an increase, and that also would require sufficient supply of resources to finance that budget. But as this increase in expenditure, which is driven much on demand beyond levels that are manageable, like the other day we see devolution, where county governments through Senate are intervening or requesting of increase on division of revenue. From 420 that had been recommended early, it has grown to 428 billion. This translates to a pressure in already a pressured expenditure of our fiscal framework. And therefore, it calls out on a balancing element or thought out on how to generate revenue to be able to meet that increasing expenditure. And for that purpose, the only way out is to look at on our tax. But I want to appreciate
the framers of this financial year finance bill, on thinking out of absorbing Kenyans from the burden, especially on disposable income, on salary, on profits from the business, reducing that so that we're able to increase our buying power and focus so much on service delivery, increase in consumption, increase in investment, and growth of our economy. This is why this finance bill of this year, all of us, we should be able to support. Mr. Speaker, I will not end by not mentioning the few challenges that we went through. One of the biggest challenges that we were facing through when we were going public participation is the level of misinformation and disinformation that is perpetrated by a well-placed human beings or people of the society. Some of them are even leaders that are known of leaders of honor in this particular country. But they have been perpetrating misinformation and disinformation, dissuading the belief of Kenyans. And sometimes when you are going to public participation, people are very emotional against their very prudent document that is seeking to address the issues that they need. People are saying that this finance bill seeks to increase taxes on land, seeks to change the ownership of land from freehold to leasehold. And the truth and factual is that there is no content, there is not even a single clause that was mentioning anything to do with lands. And therefore, when we went to the public and we were able to disseminate the information, giving them the documents, I remember in Kiambu, because I was heading one of the co-ord committee, in Kiambu, members of public were astonished and were asking us, then where is the source of this other information and papers that we've been discussing around here that is totally different from the papers that are being laid out here by our National Assembly? And that one tells you the cost and the price that we are going to pay with the misinformation and people who intentionally and deliberately try to dissuade the belief and the views of Kenyans, just for the sake of them to pursue their own interest, to pursue their own quest. And I want to dare say this, as the Bible says, what does it gain? What does it benefit for you to gain the whole world and lose life? And then what does it gain for you to destroy our country just for the sake of your own interest, for the sake of your own, to pursue your own power, for the sake of you to influence the perception of people in your own agenda? It gains nothing when people are disgruntled, when people are, we destroy our own peace, we destabilize our own country, we destabilize our own economy just because of misinformation and disinformation. And I want to call even around the house of media that let them be upheld by the code of conduct so that the information they prosecute, the information they discuss, let them establish the truth and facts so that we're able to inform our people very well and they make the right decision. And support the upright policies, the policies that is growing, that is going to grow the nation, not the negativity that is bringing about division, dividing people on political ground, and sell out the opportunity of growing our nation all together and achieve the objective of our constitution. Mr. Speaker, I want to support this particular motion. Again, to ask the executors of this particular budget, more so the devolution. I was in Ola. I led a team and I went to Ola public participation. And members of public were crying out that there is an animal abattoir, animal holding that has been promised over 10 years and county government has not implemented. Yet we are going to ask them to give us support to implement policies that are going to raise revenue and they don't realize the objective of that revenue. I want to call upon governors. Let them give services. And of course, we know 47 counties have got different unique challenges. County in Taita Taveta, where I was, women are lamenting for water. They are lamenting for drugs in their facility. They will take all the public participation to explain the frustration they are going through. And these are services which were sought to be addressed through devolution. And then the question that brings about that is, where is the priority of county governments? In these resources that are being, we press Kenyans through finance bill, they will be distributed in our budget through division of revenue. We have grown from 420 to 428, and there is no service, replicating service that is compensating their sacrifice there. And Kenyans are good. Kenyans are saying we have no problem to pay tax. They even know that they need to pay tax for services. But how are they going to be squeezed when they don't see the replication of the same on those who are vested with power to deliver? Same with the ministers and our PSS. We want to call upon them. It is high time that we saw the value of what Kenyans are giving us. Kenyans are good. We've listened to them. We've gone around the country and collect their views. Lastly, these are issues that Kenyans are asking us, that are we coming to public participation and our contribution have gone into whale? I want to ask them, if you look at the chairman's report, submission by our chairman, has taken into consideration their concerns. Issues to do with taxes on funds, that it was unclear when and how is a fund will be taxed on activation. Every member was asking, if my family member sends me a phone from abroad, I'm going to buy a SIM card, insert it. At that point, it is triggered as activation. Will I pay tax? What is the value? All those questions that Kenyans were asking, we've taken into consideration, and we want to assure them on the volume of the report that is being tabled in this house. It has taken into consideration their concern. There is one issue that KRA and National Treasury consistently have been putting in finance bill, the issue of agency notice, where they're asking that they want to defeat the chassis system by taking into action collectible tax out of their own assessment on a taxpayer who feel that this right has been infringed. And this committee has taken into consideration and say we cannot take out the process of justice that has been provided by our constitution to justice to give KRA powers to exercise that and collect taxes from Kenyans when they have their right to be followed to the latter. And the end of our justice system is the Supreme Court. Those are the issues that this committee and National Assembly are taking into consideration so that we're able to make laws that favors country, laws that favors Kenyans, laws that promotes equity, laws that promote equalization, and laws that is going to ensure in the long run every Kenyan pays and we derive the value for our money. I support this particular motion. Thank you so much, Mr. Speaker. I said I second this motion. Thank you. Thank you.
You beg to second. Thank you. Honorable members, I now propose a question that the Finance Bill, National Assembly Bill number 26 of the year 2026 be now read a second time. Muthui, Honorable Muthui.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Speaker, for this opportunity. Mr. Speaker, I rise to oppose this draconian, punitive, knee in the neck of Kenyans Finance Bill of 2026. And Mr. Speaker, I want to first begin by thanking the committee, because the committee, in the presentation they have done here, they have confirmed to Kenyans that what the executive had presented is a very nasty document. And that is why the raft of amendments, everything that the chair was talking about, kept saying, this was a proposal, this is what we are proposing. So, Mr. Speaker, I want to begin by first dealing with the myths that have been around.
The majority leader.
Because I want to deal with the myths, Mr. Speaker.
The chance is given to the minority leader here, because this is a government bill and you're supposed to be listening, not having small caucuses there. Proceed, Honorable Muthui.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Now, you see, the first thing we must note is that the intention behind the finance bill, unlike what is being sugar-coated, is actually to raise more money from Kenyans. That is the main intention, so that we can be able to support this very heavy, huge budget of this financial year. And so, Mr. Speaker, in order to do that, then obviously the government must look for ways by which they can raise more money. So I want to begin by saying it's a myth to imagine that the finance bill is going to be a good document that is, supportive to Kenyans. Mr. Speaker, I want to say this, that we were told the other day.
What's your point of order, Honorable Kimani?
Honorable Speaker, is the leader of minority right, Honorable Speaker, to misinform and disinform this House? Honorable Speaker, I would want to hear the leader of minority say that he is opposed to the amnesty that is being proposed on this particular bill, Honorable Speaker. So him purporting that we're just increasing tax, Honorable Speaker, whereas clauses like introducing penalties where taxpayers will not pay interest and penalty, Honorable Speaker, it's very misleading, Honorable Speaker. So is the leader of minority in order, Honorable Speaker?
Mr. Speaker, recently the Speaker did rule on the floor of this House that these very irritating points of order, which is really not a point of order because he wants to expand to extend an argument. Mr. Speaker, everybody has an opportunity to debate. I will have my opportunity, anytime anybody stands to interrupt my discussion, then they must allow me to get an extension of that time so that I can finish my contribution.
Honorable Muthui,
we listen to them in silence, let them also listen to us.
The chair will protect you.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, we are told that Kenyans
do you wish to be informed by the majority
I don't
leader?
want to be informed by the majority leader.
Fair enough, continue.
Mr. Speaker, I am very well informed, I'm okay. So, Mr. Speaker, Kenyans were told that those that are earning less than 30,000 are going to get some kind of reprieve. And obviously, Kenyans would expect that this being the bill that deals with taxation, that is where something of that nature would be done here. Mr. Speaker, it is nowhere near, and it is not even presented here. But, Mr. Speaker, it is also important to say, when you listen to the mover of this motion and you're saying that this bill is intending to widen the tax bracket, Mr. Speaker, what it means is that they are looking for opportunities and ways so that they can be able to tax more and find ways by which they can take money out of Kenyans' pockets. Now, Mr. Speaker, let's talk about the reality of what this bill is going to do. It's going to hit us on the very basic needs. Abraham Maslow told us that there are 3 basic needs a human being has, and that is food, that is clothing, that is shelter. Mr. Speaker, this bill is actually going to tax clothes for those people that cannot afford new clothes. We are introducing a tax on mitumba, the clothes that are bought by the people that we employ in our places that do not have money. Mr. Speaker, we are trying to tax the poor, the hustler, so that the hustler cannot be able, so the hustler cannot be able.
Just a moment. He's on a point of order. Majority Leader.
Honorable Speaker, I would hate to have interrupted Honorable Roberts, and in fact, that's why I sought to inform him. But is Honorable Robert in order to be using the floor of this House to misinform the country that there is tax on Mutumba? Because, Honorable Speaker, this bill is here before us. And I have gone through this bill clause by clause. And I saw another one, Honorable Speaker, a former Law Society of Kenya chairperson, make the same allegation. And I thought the people like Kaluma, who are lawyers, are referred to as learned friends. And I actually called her to tell her that she may seem learned, but she's not learned at all, because what Robert is saying is a propaganda that is being propagated out there. And I want to challenge Honorable Robert Muthui to substantiate and show the House and the country where in this bill that tax proposal is. Because the bill as published has no such tax proposal. The fact is that there was such a proposal that was presented to the committee in public participation. Honorable Speaker, if you can protect me from the member for Kajiado North, the Honorable Ngogoyo, who still imagines we're in a cattle market in Kajiado.
Order, Majority Leader, order. You've made your point of order and allow order. Honorable Omboko. Order, honorable members. Honorable members, this is a house of dignity. Proceed, Honorable Muthui. Yes.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, the other basic need is housing. Mr. Speaker, on Article 4, there is a proposal to introduce...
Order. You made a specific...
Mr. Speaker, the bill, look at the size of this bill. It will take me, I will present...
Order. Honorable members, order. You are not supposed to engage an honorable member across the aisle. This is a house of dignity. Honorable Muthui, it is order. Honorable Muthui, the Hansard will bear out. You said that in this bill, Mitumba are taxed. He said that it is not true. Factually, you are misleading the House and the public at large. Could you proceed now and substantiate where and which clause is it that? Those are the basic rules of the House.
Mr. Speaker, this is a huge bill. I mean, for me, I will have to go through these clause by clause so that I can find it. Mr. Speaker, allow me to proceed, and I will get you. I will get you the clause.
Order. You want to inform
Speaker,
who?
one of my members can inform the House.
Do you wish to be informed?
Yes.
By who?
Any of my members who has got it.
Who is saying point of information there?
Honorable
Munyoro. Yeah? Honorable members, I want to draw your attention to Standing Order number 91. A member shall be responsible for the accuracy of any facts which the member alleges to be true and may be required to substantiate any such facts instantly. Order. Order. Honorable members. The chair is order. Honorable Mbui, order. Honorable Mbui, you have Honorable Mbui.
Can I
Are you on a point of information?
Yes.
And you wish to inform who?
Honorable Mbui.
Yeah, but there's a matter that precedes that. The standing orders are very clear and very straight. Point of order. Standing order number 91. Order, Honorable Mbui. Standing order number 91-2. If a member If a member has sufficient reason to convince the speaker that the member is unable to substantiate the allegation instantly, the speaker shall require that such member substantiates the allegation not later than. Now, proceed now, but then if somebody who is on a point of information, Munyoro. Okay, No. What's your point of order? And there's a point of information that's been already, somebody's on a point of information, and the Honorable Mbui, do you wish to be informed? By the Honorable member, is it Munyoro? Munyoro, proceed.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I think Mr. Mbui misspoke because he meant the tax that was to be introduced on new clothes, because there was a proposal in that finance bill, and I want the majority leader to confirm that. Yeah.
Order. Honorable Mbui, there's the order. Honorable Mbui, either you substantiate or you withdraw. Yes.
So, Mr. Speaker, what I will do,
yes,
for the interest of time, because I can see members want to
yes,
put into
yes,
my time,
yes.
I will withdraw that, that comment.
Fair enough.
And then I will substantiate it later.
Fair enough.
But I will withdraw it for the purpose of my contribution. Mr. Speaker, now, I hope they will not stand up and say that there is no proposal to tax, to tax rental income at a higher rate. In fact, the proposal here, Mr. Speaker, there's an introduction of a new tax that they are calling the non-resident rental income tax, which is going to be charged at a rate of 30%. Mr. Speaker, what that basically means is that if tenants have to be able to pay more, I mean, if the landlord has to pay more, obviously they pass off that increase to the members that are their residents. So, Mr. Speaker, that again is a punishment.
What is out of order, Honorable Majority Leader? I'll give you sufficient time.
Honorable Speaker, again I rise on Standing Order 91.
Yes.
On responsibility for statement of fact. Honorable Speaker, the Honorable Mbui purports that there is a new tax on rental income. And Honorable Speaker, since clearly the Honorable Robert Mbui has not gone through this bill, let me help him. It is under clause 4 of the bill. And the bill, Honorable Speaker,
I have given him an opportunity to raise on a point of order, and he claims that you are misleading. Allow order. Honorable Mboko. Order. His point of order. Your point. Order, honorable members. Honorable Mboko. When the chair is on his feet, Robert, you are supposed to freeze. You may order. You just said that there is a rental income and there's a tax on that. And he's asking you to substantiate that fact. Proceed and substantiate.
Honorable Speaker.
Order. The rules are very clear. When you make order. If maybe some of you want to become heroes because you want the chair to throw you out. Mboko. Order, Honorable Mboko.
Why don't you just listen?
The Honorable Mboko. I know you are a first timer in this house. Order. When the chair is on his feet, you freeze. No. Now what? Order. Now, from the look of things, honorable members want to become heroes to appear in the papers tomorrow. If you have facts, you will have an opportunity. If you raise the facts and you say they are facts, then the other side has the right to contest that and tell you to prove it. You get my point? Now, if you really have serious issues, you will get to have your moment. Chair is going to give you an opportunity to say whatever you have to say. Order.
Speaker, if I can finish my point.
Honorable Muthui.
Honorable Speaker, I have not even raised the issue, Honorable Speaker, because they interrupted me. And the issue, Honorable Speaker, if you could ask Honorable Robert Muthui, you're actually wasting more time if you don't allow me to just guide. Because, Honorable Speaker, the standing orders speak on statements of facts. Honorable Speaker.
Honorable Muthui, I am going to give you all the time for you to make your point. Order. It is not your business to control him. It's my business to control him. Order. Now I can see people want to become heroes. You don't have any points, maybe. You don't have any substance to say here. You want me to throw you out. I'm not going to give you that pleasure. Can you give he rose on a point of order. Because order. Why do you keep on making things that you cannot substantiate if you think is...
Mr. Speaker, can I give you the bill and I tell you...
Okay. What? Your point of order?
Imposition of non-resident rental income tax. Article 4.
Why do you say it's not in the order? Order. Yeah, what's your point of order?
Honorable Speaker, I was very clear. I rose on standing order number 91 on statement of fact. And not to interrupt my brother, Honorable Robert Muthui, or even to read for him. Because the Honorable Robert Muthui purported in his statement that the bill has a new tax on rental income. And that is why I said he must substantiate.
Okay,
because what Honorable Speaker, if you allow me a point, what he said was that it was a new tax. But what is in the bill is no new tax. It is a tax for non-resident Kenyans, non-residents, that will not affect any Kenyan. It is a foreigner who owns a property in Nairobi who will have to pay tax for that property. Therefore, Honorable Speaker, the Honorable Robert Muthui is behaving like Kalonzo Musyoka, who told us that we are converting freehold land into leasehold land without reading the bill.
Order, Majority Leader. Order, Majority Leader. Order. Now, Honorable Muthui, continue. Proceed. Ordinarily, Honorable Muthui,
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for the protection.
I will protect you.
Thank you.
Just allow the House also to be orderly.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. So this non-resident rental income tax is actually at the rate of 30%. And what I'm saying is that anyone...
Honorable Muthui,
yes,
ordinarily, your time would have been up, but I'm giving you 5 more minutes for you to proceed.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. So ideally, and what my argument is that any time that you impose any taxation, any extra taxation on a landlord, the person that suffers is actually the person who is a tenant. So that is what I'm looking at, the possibility that these will be passed on to our citizens. Mr. Speaker, there is also taxation on digital platforms. Mr. Speaker, digital platforms, and they have not even been defined here, but digital platforms, Mr. Speaker, are those platforms where we trade with online. And we are talking here about things like Uber, we are talking about all those online platforms. All these are being taxed. Mr. Speaker, we are also proposing, there's a proposal here to tax what we are calling payment networks. And Mr. Speaker, here I see M-Pesa, Airtel Money, all of those falling into the tax bracket. And therefore, that means the transactions that, and you know that M-Pesa and Airtel Money are the banks of the hustlers, because some of them cannot be able to put money in actual banks. So that also is being taxed.
Order, majority.
Payment cards. And here we are talking about Visa and MasterCard, Mr. Speaker. They are also being, the service fee is also being taxed. Mr. Speaker, I want to move on to the issue of the tax procedures. And Mr. Speaker, I remember very well the current president, he told Kenyans that when he becomes president, he's going to try and make sure that the Kenya Revenue Authority becomes a Kenya Revenue Service. Mr. Speaker, now I can see Kenya Revenue Authority is going to become a Kenya Revenue Force. And Mr. Speaker, this is why I say that. Mr. Speaker, there is a proposal to allow the commissioner to use data driven from tax assessments, from third parties, to be able to determine how much tax one should pay. Mr. Speaker, even in the same industry, business concepts are different. Two people can have a hardware of the same size, but one of them is making profits and the other one is making losses. How can you decide that you're going to use data to determine how much someone owes? And Mr. Speaker, it is even scary because the previous system was like this, that if the taxman hits you with a tax bill, you can be able to negotiate, and if you are not happy, you can go to court. Mr. Speaker, the proposal that the executive has presented to this House is that you must pay before you go to court. And even as you are in court, your money will be tied. Even if it takes 10 years, your money will be tied. The commissioner is being given unfettered powers, Mr. Speaker. Powers that cannot be given to anyone. And Mr. Speaker, the fear is that if you do that, you weaponize Kenya Revenue Force so that they can be able to implement those assessments by themselves, decide that you owe 100 billion and come and tell you to pay. And if you don't pay, they freeze the accounts. Mr. Speaker, these are things that we cannot accept. These are the things that will punish Kenyans. But I'm happy because I've seen an attempt by the committee to actually refuse some of those things. Mr. Speaker, even though we are talking about them, the fact is that until we go to committee of the whole House, they still remain on print and they still remain the proposals of this executive. Mr. Speaker, there's a proposal to shorten the time that you do your returns at the end of the year. The proposal is that the normal 6 months are going to be shortened to 4 months. Mr. Speaker, basically what it means is that you are likely to have more people defaulting because they are unable to do their returns on time and therefore they get penalized. So, Mr. Speaker, this is another way of attempting to get money out of Kenyans through penalties. Mr. Speaker, the period given of 6 months was enough. Let it remain as it was. And worse still, there's a proposal that those who have nil returns have to do their returns within a month. Now, the people with nil returns, Mr. Speaker, have to now look for an auditor, an accountant, put their books in order quickly within a month, before a month is over. That basically, again, exposes them to the possibility of default. So, Mr. Speaker, I want to say this bill is a bill that is not helping Kenyans. It is a bill that is hurting Kenyans. And this is the reason why Kenyans are constantly dissatisfied with this regime. Mr. Speaker, we will propose amendments to this bill, all the way from the first clause up to the last clause. Because, Mr. Speaker, we will not say we reject the bill, but we will amend the bill and remove any increase of tax that is being imposed on Kenyans anywhere in this bill. Because the intention is to raise more than 100 billion more from Kenyans. Kenyans are suffering. I heard the CS of Interior say that the reason our children are rioting in schools is because maybe the teachers that are teaching them are also Gen Z and they do not understand maybe how to run these institutions. I want to tell him all teachers are professional and they are able to run their institutions. The stress the teachers have, the stress the parents have, the stress the children have is coming from such bills that are imposing a burden on parents, on children, and everybody in this country. I oppose, Mr. Speaker.
The Honorable Majority, would you want to present yours now?
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I rise to support this bill and begin by thanking the Finance and National Planning Committee first for the very extensive public participation that they carried out on this bill. And consequent to that public participation, Honorable Speaker, unlike what many people are made to believe some 2 years ago, that their views don't matter and don't count, today, those who listened to the mover of this bill, the Honorable Member for Molo, he has articulated very clearly the measures that the committee has proposed to the House. And it is good that Kenyans understand that the bill as published, we debate it, as Honorable Robert Muthui was saying, we debate what is published, informed by the views of the public following public participation, which then informs the amendments that my brother Robert Muthui is speaking to. And therefore, I want to assure Robert Muthui that indeed, just as you will be proposing amendments to the bill, the committee has already proposed amendments that are in the report that is tabled. Part of those amendments touch on the issues my brother has spoken to. That there was a proposal in the published bill to enable people to file returns, some in January, some in March, others in June, and that now has since been rationalized. And we have made it clear, if you read the report, that individuals will file their returns 4 months post the year end. And for individuals, that means anybody with a PIN number that starts with the letter A. If your PIN number starts with the letter A, you are considered to be an individual. Those that start with P are businesses, and they have up to the end of June, as usually happens, Honorable Speaker. And I hope that is clear. Two, Honorable Speaker, this bill, Honorable Robert Muthui puts it very well. Yes, the finance bill has an objective of raising revenue. But raising revenue does not necessarily mean additional taxes. And that is what is untrue. There are no additional taxes on rental income, Honorable Speaker, as I said, and I said it is under Clause 4. Any Kenyan can get a copy of the bill and read. The proposal is not a new tax and does not affect Kenyan residents earning rental income. Rental income remains to be charged at the usual 7.5%. That was ongoing. Nothing changes. The only thing that is changing, they are non-residents, people, foreigners who are not living in this country. They do not have Kenyan PIN numbers. And they own properties. All these apartments you find in Kilimani, the Airbnbs in Westlands, wherever they are, even in Mlolongo and in Kikuyu. Those non-residents don't pay tax in our country, but they're earning rental income from Kenyans. It is those people who are being brought under the ambit of the rental income. And it's good to be clear and factual and truthful to the people of Kenya, because we may want to excite people out there by telling them untruths. And that is why I challenge those who are not telling us what is in the bill, what is contained in the bill. Honorable Speaker, on the question of deemed income, Honorable Speaker, for companies, indeed, I listened to the chair because I was seated in my office listening as the chair began to move. And he has said the proposal in the bill was to actually put into legislation or anchor into law what is currently being done. That when you do not declare dividends, it is deemed that about 60% of that should be taxable income. The chair of the committee has clearly said that they are proposing a deletion of that provision, and therefore, when they move the amendment, that will cease to be there, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I can be informed by the Chair of Finance.
Proceed from Honorable Kimani. He's behind you, just behind you. Oh no, he's back again.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I would like to inform my leader of majority party and inform this House that actually there is no any proposed change in rental income tax as it is in the bill or in our report. What happens with non-resident tax income? What the bill is changing is what we call the tax incidence. Because what is required of tenants is if your landlord is a non-resident, then you withhold that rental income and pay KRA. So we are changing that tax incidence to take that responsibility from the tenant to the landlord. So it is now the landlord who pays that tax, and it's the same rate, and it's not changing. And I think it's important to raise that debate and inform this House on that particular matter, Honorable Speaker.
Thank you, my
point of order, Honorable Muthui.
Thank you, my chair, and Honorable Speaker.
Muthui, what are you on?
point of information, Mr. Speaker.
I cannot be informed by someone who is not informed himself, Honorable Speaker.
Of information, Mr.
I
Speaker.
cannot be informed, Honorable Speaker, by somebody who is not well informed. I can only be informed by the chair who is well informed.
Point of order, Wamboka.
Honorable Speaker, Honorable Speaker, if I may proceed now.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I've listened to the...
Wamboka has the floor. Honorable Muriu, when you ask to inform somebody, if that member does not want to be informed, it's settled at that. You don't keep on shouting from there. You wanted to give a point of information and he said he doesn't want to be informed. Okay, Wamboka, you are on a point of order.
Point of order, Honorable Speaker.
Yes.
I've listened to the Chair of Finance
Yes.
trying to explain about the tax imposed on non-residents and that it will not affect Kenyans. If these non-Kenyans, Honorable Speaker, who own apartments, what Majority Leader is alluding to, their taxes increase, these taxes will pass to the tenants, Honorable Speaker, and that is why we are saying it is mischievous way of increasing taxes because ultimately, Honorable Speaker, the taxes will go.
Wamboka, order. I am here on the chair. Order. Unless you did not listen. What the honorable member said is that initially the onus was on the tenant to remit that as a withholding. Now the onus shifts to the owners of the properties who are foreigners. He did not say what you're saying. Proceed, Speaker.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Proceed, Majority Leader.
I think, Honorable Speaker, you have
You're
put
on
it
a point
so
of
well.
order? What's your point
You
of
have
order?
put it so well, Honorable Speaker, and if they can tell us what standing orders they are standing on.
He's on a point of order. Let me hear his point of order.
What standing order, Honorable Speaker?
Yeah. You're
Mr.
on a point of order.
Is it in order for the leader majority to mislead the House on the meaning, literal and legal meaning of non-resident? Mr. Speaker, when I look at the Black Law Dictionary, the non-resident means is an individual who does not live permanently, work or maintain primary presence in a specific jurisdiction or establishment. Mr. Speaker, the concern is this. 2, 1, who are these non-resident? If what, Mr. Speaker, the majority want to mean is what you call non-citizen, then they should have put the word non-citizen. Mr. Speaker, the point is this, Mr. Speaker. The point is this, Mr. Speaker. This issue is that non-citizen in
Honorable Speaker.
Order, Majority Leader, order, Majority Leader, order. Tongoyo, Wamboka, order, Honorable, order. The chair is telling you order. The issue is non-resident can be Kenyan, can be non-Kenyan. Order. Now, the position. Order can be Kenyan and non-Kenyan. But the catch is somebody not listed in the tax systems we have in here. A non-resident is somebody who is not paying taxes because he is not a resident here. Does not have a PIN. Order. I'm just trying to break down, and if I'm wrong, you tell me. So the idea, order. The idea, if I may get all the wisdom, is that whoever has access to rental income, whether citizen or no citizen, and is a non-resident, must have a PIN. Is that what it is? Because the onus will be on that person who resides outside the country to remit the taxes instead of the tenant doing the remission.
In fact, Honorable Speaker,
yes.
Just to make it clearer, for non-residents, first in tax.
Order.
First, to begin with, in tax, there is only resident and non-resident.
Yes.
But the chair has even made it better, and you have clarified the same, that for non-residents, the onus of paying tax was for the tenant to withhold that tax and remit to KRA. What now KRA is doing, or what this finance bill is doing, first, there is no change in the rate of tax. There is no introduction of any new tax. It is only the burden of who pays. The burden is being shifted from the tenant
to the
landlord,
Yes.
whether you are resident or non-resident. Because for a resident landlord like myself, I declare my own rental income and pay taxes on it. For a non-resident, you are required for the tenant to withhold and remit. And I think that, Honorable Speaker, is clear. If I can continue with my submission.
Order, majority leader, order. Order. What? Order, Muthui. I thought what this meant was that whether citizen or no citizen or non-citizen, as long as you have you collect rental income from here and you are not a resident in Kenya, is that what it is, Kimani? Yes. You are not a resident in Kenya.
Yes.
Then the honors of remitting that taxes to KRA
was on the tenant.
Before. Now it falls on you, whether you are a citizen or not citizen, as long as you are a non-resident. Yes. You want to inform who?
Yes.
Okay.
Where was it? Again, Mr. Speaker.
You're informing me.
I'm informing the leader of majority.
Yes.
In any case, Honorable Speaker, what is this clause trying to cure? What it's trying to cure is that it was giving, as currently drafted in the Income Tax Act, if you are a tenant and your landlord is a non-resident, you are required to withhold rental income tax, as we know, we are supposed to withhold withholding tax and remit to KRA.
Yes.
So the complication is, how would you know as a tenant whether your landlord is a resident or a non-resident? And therefore, KRA will come and do an assessment on you and say you have failed to remit withholding tax to KRA on your landlord who is a non-resident. And now they will give you penalties and interest. So you are being punished and you do not know whether your landlord is a tenant or is a landlord or is a resident or a non-resident. By now changing that incidence now from the tenant to the landlord, we are saying, as a tenant, I don't care whether my landlord is a resident or a non-resident. The responsibility of their paying income tax is on the landlord, not on the tenant. And I hope that that matter comes to
Okay,
rest.
proceed now.
Honorable Speaker, let me thank the chair because he has effectively explained and effectively deconstructed the propaganda, the lies, and the innuendos that were being peddled around this issue of income, rental income tax. Honorable Speaker, I had submitted on the question of the deemed income for people who are not paying dividends, and I made it clear, as the chair had very well articulated in his moving, that they have made a proposal to delete that particular provision to allow businesses in the country to be able to hold even retained earnings for future investment and to grow their companies and therefore create job opportunities for Kenyans. Too, Honorable Speaker, I wanted to agree with my brother Robert Muthui when he said that indeed the finance bill has an objective of raising revenue, and it is true. And I had said raising revenue does not necessarily mean increasing tax or introducing new taxes, and that is why we wanted to disabuse that notion that was being peddled that tenants will suffer. Well, what the bill is doing is saving tenants from the punishment of being penalized for not collecting withholding tax for people who are not resident in Kenya. Honorable Speaker, is it true that the finance bill then has an objective of raising revenue? We cannot look Kenyans into their eyes and tell them that we are not raising revenue. We are raising revenue. The question is, from whom are you raising revenue? The Finance Committee, in their tax VAT exemptions, have proposed to do away with a bit of the proposals that were there in the bill, touching on inputs on raw materials for animal feeds, touching on our sugar sector transport costs, and that is being deleted by the committee. If you listened, and it's good always to read the committee's report, that is why it was tabled before we began this debate, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, more importantly, where then are we raising this revenue from? We have people who are importing choppers and light aircraft into this country. Luxury and means of transport for the rich. We are going for the rich. Those who are bringing in choppers, those who are bringing in private jets and light aircraft will have to pay for them. They have been bringing choppers, light aircraft without paying duty, without paying VAT. We are now going for them. They will pay VAT. Therefore, those who want to know where money is coming from, that is such one area where, yes, Honorable Speaker, those of us who are bringing in choppers. Honorable Speaker, if you can protect me and you need to add me time because my time was taken away.
Order, honorable members, order.
You know, Honorable Speaker.
Order. Proceed.
Honorable Speaker, you know, I have said it before, I have no quarrel with importing choppers or light aircraft.
You can have an additional 5 minutes here.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. And therefore, Honorable Speaker, where else are we raising money from? And I want to look at Honorable Robert Muthui in the eye as I say this. Robert Muthui, the people of Kathiani, the young people in Kikuyu, the young people in this country, and in fact, not just young people, parents have suffered from betting. People are betting and betting away their school fees, betting away their money for medication. We are going for those who are betting. Honorable Speaker, this is where this money is coming from. If you read the tax proposals under clause 2 and 17, there is a proposal, Honorable Speaker, in the bill that is bringing into the ambit of taxation what are called the land-based casinos. Because we have effectively dealt with the question of online gambling. But today, people who are doing on land casinos, those who are giving away giveaways like cars, the people who do lottery and you win a car, those things are not being taxed, and therefore we are bringing them into the ambit of taxation at the rate of 20%. Therefore, Honorable Speaker, this also saves not only saving those who are getting into the habit of betting, and many families have suffered from this vice, Honorable Speaker. Many families. Unfortunately, Honorable Speaker, and I'm still looking at Honorable Robert Muthui in the eye. Unfortunately, my brother Robert Muthui, the people who are suffering are people in our villages who are betting at street corners, in kiosks, on those machines that are usually put there by foreigners, most of them Chinese-made and Chinese-owned. And people are betting, and those people are paying no tax. We must go for them to raise taxes. I want anybody to stand here and tell us that we should not tax those people, that we should not protect our children. I want you to tell me that we should not tax those who are importing choppers into this country or light aircraft, while us protecting, Honorable Speaker, we are also protecting the industry in aviation, because in the past what has happened, and that is why this proposal had come to this House, that people were going and buying parts, you ship those parts to our neighboring countries, you take your aircraft to the neighboring country, get it fixed there, because spare parts would have been cheaper there because of taxes. We are exempting tax on spare parts. And even for huge aircraft, if KQ was to buy a new plane, for instance, that is exempted. If Lufthansa or British Airways want to repair their Boeing or their Airbus here, their parts also are exempted. That is how this bill, Honorable Speaker, is dealing with that question. Honorable Speaker, this bill also speaks to a question of an uncertainty that was there around gratuity. And I know myself, the Honorable Robert Muthui, and others here, we have staff in our offices who are paid gratuity. I know some of you may have retired some of your staff after 2 or 3 years, and those staff don't benefit from gratuity. The bill is making it clear that so long as you have worked for 3 years, you will benefit from your gratuity, Honorable Speaker. That is putting money back into the pockets of our people, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, as I finish, the amendments to the VAT Act, Honorable Speaker, I said many of them may have touched on issues as proposed in the bill that touch on farmers, on pharmaceuticals, Honorable Speaker, and on other raw materials, and the committee in their proposal has proposed to delete all those, and therefore they will be deleted in line with the wishes of the people of Kenya during public participation. Finally, Honorable Speaker, there's a question that was raised, and I know Honorable Kaluma and the chair have divergent views on this one. Honorable Robert Muthui spoke to it. At what point, if you assess me as KRA and I go to the tax tribunal, at what point will I be forced to pay before I appeal? Honorable Speaker, the proposal that is there that the committee has proposed to delete. The proposal was that when you go to the tribunal, you pay your tax 100%. The committee has proposed to delete that. But I beg to disagree. Because what has been happening, Honorable Speaker, very huge taxpayers get assessed probably 100 million shillings.
Additional 1 minute.
Honorable Speaker, you can inform the House you're adding what from the disruptions. Honorable Speaker, I was saying when you assess your 100 million shillings, you have the right to go to a tribunal. Robert Muthui was telling us that Kenyans will not go to court. The tribunal is appointed by the judiciary. It is a quasi-judicial process. You have the right to appeal to the High Court all the way to the Supreme Court. The proposal the Finance Committee has brought to us is to delete that proviso, but I was of a different view, that at the point you are assessed, if you go to the tribunal and the tribunal upholds the assessment by KRA, you must pay something, and I would be proposing at least you pay 50% of what is being demanded as you appeal in the High Court, Honorable Speaker, because it is a game of chances and probability. The case in the High Court and all the way to the Supreme Court could end either way. Because what has been happening, Honorable Speaker, is people are using the judicial process, whereas many poor Kenyans and young Kenyans are
The Honorable Kaluma. They will be.
I thank you.
Order.
Honorable member, it's my time. Honorable Speaker.
What's your point of order, Wamboka? Yeah, Wamboka is on a point of order.
Honorable Speaker, is Honorable Majority Leader Kimani Ichung'wah in order to keep on mentioning our leaders and bringing their names here on the floor when he knows very well perhaps he may never reach where they have reached. Honorable Speaker, is he in order?
Continue.
Is he?
I thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I sit in the Finance Committee.
Order, Majority Leader, what is your point of order, Majority Leader?
Honorable Speaker, you know, Honorable Jack Wamboka is my very good friend. And he knows what I may have said was not on record. He's now informing Kenyans what I might have said off record, Honorable Speaker. And all I said is that Honorable Kalonzo Musyoka had not read the finance bill when he alleged that we are converting freehold land into leasehold land. Just like Robert Muthui had not read this finance bill. Just like the other man from Wamonyoro has told them to come and make noise in the house instead of contributing ideas on how we can raise taxes.
Order, Majority Leader, order.
You know, Honorable Speaker, these people have been mobbing.
Order. Honorable Kaluma, proceed.
I thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker,
What is your point of order? Honorable Muthui, what's your point of order? What's the point of order? Muthui, order! Order!
Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Order! Honorable Kalasinga, order! Order! Order!
Thank you.
Proceed. What's your point of order?
Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
I have given the floor to Honorable Muthui.
Thank you,
the rest
Mr.
of you be
Speaker.
quiet.
Mr. Speaker,
Silence.
with all due respect to the majority leader,
Yes.
who, tells us that he understands the standing orders.
Yeah.
Is he in order
Yes.
to discuss a member who was a former vice president, most likely the next president, Honorable Kalonzo Musyoka, without a substantive motion? Is he in order?
Yes, what's your point of order? Order. Gracious lady, Wamuchomba is on a point of order. What's your point of order? Wamuchomba to be heard in silence. Yes.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. When you are seated there, Mr. Speaker, you have now eyes, no ears until we inform you. Is it in order for honorable members elected by millions of people to shout like a marketplace instead of asking? Is it in order, Mr. Speaker?
Is it in order?
Order.
No, I'm about to...
Order. I'll give you. Order. Honorable Kaluma has the floor.
I thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I sit in the Finance Committee, and Honorable Speaker, this has been the most difficult finance bill to process because, Honorable Speaker, it is being done in a very constrained economic environment. We were looking at how to ensure that tax administration is efficient without, of course, increasing taxes, Honorable Speaker, because as people have been saying, the tax burden on the individual is very big. We were looking at how to broaden the tax base and to get everybody to pay their due taxes, therefore, Honorable Speaker, without having any tax increments. And I wanted to confirm, Honorable Speaker, that as a committee, we did not just go throughout the country, but we sat for very long hours. So much so, Honorable Speaker, that by yesterday, when we were still sitting to process the report, I remember the chair called to be asking, what are you still sitting over because of exhaustion? Of course, I want to be grateful to the Kenyans who gave their views on these taxation measures, and they have been integrated. By yesterday, the report of the committee was over 350 pages. I believe there could be changes upon increases or decreases, but it confirms the level of public participation engaged in this matter. And I want to thank Kenyans, Honorable Speaker, that unlike in 2024, Kenyans are now coming forward with views to enrich the finance bill, especially the young people. Honorable Speaker, the bill as drawn has really helped to secure that we raise enough money to sustain the budget, which we are, was highlighted here and we continue to process. And Honorable Speaker, we are acutely aware that it is the desire of Kenya that for the individual, at least we reduce, taxes, more so for the vulnerable. And so I'm in support of this bill, Honorable Speaker. We went through them clause by clause. Those provisions which require a bit of cleanups, Honorable Speaker, the committee has made, proposals. Honorable Speaker, because of time, and using my expertise in law, allow me only to highlight some issues over which I disagree with the committee in terms of the amendments being proposed on the report. And on this I'm doing, Honorable Speaker, because during the deliberations before adoption, I did indicate to the committee that I was to a contrary view on some of them. Honorable Speaker, let me start by attending to issue number 1, which is the issue of agency notices which the majority leader ended up with. The current Tax Procedures Act says that when you dispute taxes, there is some alternative dispute resolution between you and Kenya Revenue Authority. And if that fails, Honorable Speaker, you then go to the Tax Appeals Tribunal as the court, or let me say judicial level of the first instance. What it says after that is that you have the right to appeal. And these appeals, based on the strictures of the Constitution, as a lawyer you know, can go then to the Court of Appeal. The point in the Act now, before this bill, Honorable Speaker, is that so long as you appeal the decision of the tax tribunal to the High Court, you can also appeal from the High Court to the Court of Appeal. You can appeal from the Court of Appeal to the Supreme Court. All that time, no agency notice will issue. And in the bill, Honorable Speaker, the chair under whose name the bill is brought, the bill as drafted proposes, Honorable Speaker, that while agency notices will not issue when you are moving up to the tax appeals tribunal, when you are now moving from the tax appeal tribunal, the tax appeals tribunal, having listened to the parties and resolved that you owe the government money in terms of taxes, the bill is proposing that if you need any further stays, you now go to the High Court on appeal and you apply for stay in the High Court. Or if you move from the High Court to the Court of Appeal, you apply for stay there. But the fact that you are appealing does not automatically operate to stop you from discharging your obligation to pay the due taxes, because it is already determined by the tribunal after the attempts at alternative dispute tribunal. And Honorable Speaker, I wanted to say that you are a lawyer like me and a very senior one. Even for purposes of civil litigation, once you have an injunction, you go to the court of first instance. When you go to the Court of Appeal, there are applications we usually make under 52B for stay, if you want them. And the court will consider whether you are appealing, Honorable Speaker, on good grounds, or you just have a frivolous appeal so that you continue enjoy stay to give it to you. So I wanted to disagree with the committee, because the committee is seeking to reverse us to the previous situation, where so long as you have appeals pending, for howsoever they are hard, because we have not limited them in terms of time, and like elections, disputes, there will be automatic stay. What it does, Honorable Speaker, is that this money is with the person indefinitely as long as it's pursuing appeal, even if that appeal is frivolous. So I agree with the bill and disagree with the committee that indeed, up to the level of the tax appeals tribunal, let agency notices be frozen. But after that, Honorable Speaker, go to the court and confirm to court that our having been heard before the tax appeals tribunal, let us now persuade you that we have good grounds of appeal with a memorandum attached, so that a person does not delay. I accept information, Honorable Speaker.
You wish to be informed. Honorable Speaker, quickly, I just want to inform Honorable Kaluma, because he's a seasoned lawyer, yes, and has been in the court corridors for some time. In actual fact, what taxpayers have been doing is going to court and you freeze the process, and therefore KRA never collects their taxes. And that's the point I was making when I was finishing, that whereas me and you and all other hardworking Kenyans are paying their taxes, very big business people who are able to go manipulate the court process are not paying their taxes. And that is how this finance bill is raising taxes, by ensuring that there is fairness and certainty as to who and who will pay taxes.
I thank you, Honorable Speaker, and it is about equity, as the majority leader rightly says. Because if we allow a situation where as long as you appeal, Honorable Speaker, you are not paying the government, then it takes too long. We have not limited the time. The guy, without even confirming he has a good appeal, so long as you appeal, will enjoy stay. We are leaving the room that if you need a stay, go to the Court of Appeal like we do under 52B and persuade the court that you are not appealing on frivolous grounds, and then you can be given a stay, and the court can then expedite the hearing. So on that account, I disagree with the committee. Honorable Speaker.
Point of information?
No, I don't want information.
What is your point?
No, I don't want information.
He doesn't want to be informed.
I don't want to be informed so that I save on time, Honorable Speaker, and so that as many of us as possible speak. Honorable Speaker, there is also a taxation being proposed to be removed by the bill, and I support the bill to that extent. They are saying, Honorable Speaker, that if you purchase goods or import goods, purchase locally or import goods, the current law says, Honorable Speaker, for direct and exclusive use in affordable housing projects, then you have some tax relief there. You have a big exemption, you have a big relief. I think they could be even zero rated. Honorable Speaker, the question is, how do you prove that goods a contractor is buying for construction are for direct and exclusive use in affordable housing. And KRA came before us and they said, it is difficult to prove. To the contrary, what has been happening is that once you get an affordable housing contract for a single apartment somewhere, Honorable Speaker, you are doing your private property elsewhere, and you are getting that relief, you are distorting the market for the other people. The committee has proposed in the report, Honorable Speaker, to also delete that provision, and on that I disagree with the committee, so that the bill remains as is. Honorable Speaker, there is this issue of funds which has been debated for very long. And honorable members, let me tell you, we met the PS for Treasury last Friday. When the PS came, they said there is a reason as to why they were making those proposals. By the time they were leaving, we still didn't agree on the idea that taxes become due on activation. And they confirmed to us that even on their part, they still need to clarify that area. And so we agreed as a committee with the Treasury that maybe the issue of activation be removed. But there was a fundamental point made, honorable members. And the point, honorable members, was that currently the dealers in the telephony industry prefer to import phones through Tanzania and through Uganda. Why, Honorable Speaker? Because the import-related taxes we levy and the levies we put, including railways levy, on importation of phones are too high. So they would rather import through Uganda or Tanzania than they get rerouted. And so there was a proposal, if we leave aside activation, that we bring our level to the level of the East African community so that we don't become a secondary market, but we can also allow importation of funds directly and we continue to benefit as others. And so, Honorable Speaker, on that account also, while at least I agree with the committee on removing the provision that you will deal with those issues at the point of activation, which, Honorable Speaker, are impracticable even to implement, and we wait for the Treasury to cleanse them up.
Do you wish to be informed by Muchomba?
Yeah, Honorable Speaker, I'm worried about time.
You have 1 more minute, so Muchomba, do you wish to be informed?
Honorable Speaker, I think the time that there was good debate, and this is a very critical thing.
You have 2 minutes. Do you wish to be informed or not? Say yes or no.
Honorable Speaker, I thought I had 4 minutes.
Okay, no.
Because, Honorable Speaker, you know, Parliament was established because there can be no taxation without representation. And I want to thank you, Honorable Speaker, for allowing this engagement. But when we were engaging, my time was running, Honorable Speaker. Could I have my 4 minutes? Because I don't think they have been taken into account.
You have 2 minutes. Proceed.
Yes. Yeah, so, Honorable Speaker, the thing is that if we collapse the entire provision, then we are going to a situation where Kenya economically is at a competitive disadvantage against the East African community countries, and people and dealers will still import through them and return here for sale secondarily. And so as we allow them to deal with the issue of activation to avoid funds coming from all over without taxes being paid on them, which is the situation in Kenya, and they said they would be refining it, we bring it later on, the taxes which were proposed for removal, Honorable Speaker, we agree they be removed so that the funds are cheap, and Honorable Speaker, so that we are also an attractive import destination for funds, and we can get those taxes related to imports. Honorable Speaker, my major issue has been this thing called zero rating. Honorable Speaker, the Treasury came before us, and if you look at the bill, there are so many goods which are being proposed to be removed from the zero rated category to go to exempt. And there is a reason for it. The Treasury and KRA told us that maybe the goods with zero rate should be goods which are being used in export, or those processed in EPZs for good reasons that we want to be competitive in terms of, getting foreign exchange. But Honorable Speaker, we were told that while list with zero rate goods, there is no commensurate benefit to the people down there. You will zero rate, let me say bread and others, they still remain zero rated. I'm just using as an example. But what happens, Honorable Speaker, is that the bakers, instead of employing more bakers, are employing accountants to seek tax. And it was confirmed before us that tax expenditures on refunds alone, like last year, it was being estimated at around 510 billion. So we are collecting money from poor people. We are giving them to a few people who are not passing benefit to the consumers. And so I was saying that unless there is good explanation and philosophy, we should not have that category where goods are just being thrown without proper logics. because there was a clarification that it should be for export, every other thing be removed. And I would be requesting that when the committee will be moving that amendment, Honorable Speaker, I will put my dissent and they can be addressed. Because of time, I would have addressed the issue of amnesty, which is about the duty of people to pay taxes when due. I'm against such provisions, and I will be proposing that addition.
Honorable Mazamzam Chimba.
Asante sana Mheshimiwa Spika, na mimi nainuka kuunga mkono mswada huu Mheshimiwa Spika. Mswada wa fedha katika taifa lolote Mheshimiwa Spika ni mswada ambao unazingatia matumizi katika nyanja tofauti ya taifa Mheshimiwa Spika. Kuna masala ya elimu, kuboresha elimu Mheshimiwa Spika, inahitaji iwe na mgao wake Mheshimiwa Spika. Kuna masala ya afya, kuna masala ya security, kuna masala mengi sana ya agriculture na mambo mengi Mheshimiwa Spika ambayo yanahitaji mkono wa Mkenya kuwekeza ili kupata huduma bora Mheshimiwa Spika. Jambo ambalo nataka kusema Mheshimiwa Spika ni kuwa wajua mchawi ama mwanga si lazima aruke na uteo Mheshimiwa Spika. Kuna wanga wengine ambao ni wanga tu hata kwa roho mbaya na fitna na mambo ya kupotesha wananchi Mheshimiwa Spika. Mheshimiwa Spika, mimi nataka niseme hivi. Juzi na jana tumeweza kuzungumzia bajeti ya taifa katika bunge hili. Na wengi ambao ni wenzangu katika bunge hili Mheshimiwa Spika waliweza kuunga mkono, wengine wakawa wanasema hapo iongezeke, hapa iongezeke, pale paongezeke Mheshimiwa Spika, lakini mimi nilikuwa na ngoja siku ya leo niweze kuuliza hii ambao tulikuwa tunasema iongezewe ilikuwa itatoka wapi? Ilikuwa tutakusanya mawe tuongezee kwenye bajeti ama ilikuwa tutatoa ushuru ili uweze kuendelesha hili taifa Mheshimiwa Spika? Mheshimiwa Spika, mimi naangalia barabara zetu za Kenya Mheshimiwa Spika. Pengine jambo la msingi ambalo wenzetu wangeweza kutuambia, kujenga barabara si makosa, lakini ile barabara unaijenga katika hali gani? Je, inawekwa tu ni blanketi si ambayo imekaa vizuri? Hiyo ndo tutasema hiyo ni corruption Mheshimiwa Spika. Tuangalie hospitali, huduma ya hospitali, madawa yapatikane kwa wagonjwa kwa sababu wametoa ushuru kuweza kulipia yale madawa. Lakini ikiwa kule counties tunapata kuwa wagonjwa wanakosa madawa, hilo ndo swali ambalo upinzani wanafaa kuuliza, wala si kupinga mswada Mheshimiwa Spika. Huduma bora ndio kitu ambacho cha kusisitiza, lakini kulipa ushuru ni haki ya Mkenya yoyote yule kulipa ushuru ili aweze kupata huduma bora Mheshimiwa Spika. Mheshimiwa Spika, juzi na jana mimi nimetoka Singapore, nikaangalia Singapore affordable housing wanavyoendeleza Mheshimiwa Spika. Mimi nimefurahi na nikasema ikiwa ule mfumo tungeweza kuuchukua katika taifa hili Mheshimiwa Spika, ingekuwa kila Mkenya leo ana nyumba yake, anamiliki nyumba yake, anatoka katika nyumba yake. Lakini kwa masikitiko Mheshimiwa Spika, katika taifa letu la Kenya tumeweka siasa mbele, mambo ya kimsingi pia mambo mazuri watu tunayapinga Mheshimiwa Spika. Nimetoka kule nimeangalia wana mfumo mzuri Mheshimiwa Spika. Kila kijana ambaye ametimia miaka 18 na ameanza kazi Mheshimiwa Spika, katika kanuni za kule ambao tulipata uhuru pamoja na wao Mheshimiwa Spika, wamewekeza kuwa 20% inaenda katika mfumo wa pension, mfumo wa affordable housing na mfumo wa afya. Lakini Mheshimiwa Spika, hao wakikatwa inakuwa ni kama wamepata mahala pa kukaa na wananchi wote wanakaa bila kupata matatizo ya kuweza kulipa rent Mheshimiwa Spika. Katika Singapore wale ambao wanalipa rent Mheshimiwa Spika ni wananchi ambao wametoka nje kuja kufanya kazi. Na ni jambo ambalo mimi naona Mheshimiwa Rais alikuwa anatamani liweze kutendeka katika taifa hili Mheshimiwa Spika, lakini siasa zetu mimi ningeomba kwa yale mambo ambayo ni ya msingi, mambo ambayo ni ya kusaidia mwananchi, tuweke siasa zetu kando, tuangalie mambo ambayo tunaweza kujenga nayo taifa Mheshimiwa Spika. Mheshimiwa Spika, nilikuwa naangalia barabara zao, hata waweza tandika ukalala Mheshimiwa Spika. Jambo la Mkenya ambalo anasikitika ni kuwa ushuru anatoa na ni haki yake kutoa ushuru, lakini ile service ndio ambayo mwananchi wa Kenya anataka apate huduma bora Mheshimiwa Spika. Ikiwa ni barabara Na wengine wetu hapa umesimamia mabarabara, Mheshimiwa Spika. Unapata barabara imewekwa vipande, lakini pesa ambayo imetumika pale ni chungu nzima, Mheshimiwa Spika. Kila mwaka barabara inawekwa vitambara vya kuweza kutengezwa kila mwaka. Lakini ikiwa tunaweza kutumia haya mapeni yetu vizuri, madhubuti, Mheshimiwa Spika, barabara zetu zikanyoka kama mataifa mengine, basi Kenya itakuwa mfano wa kuigwa na mataifa mengine, Mheshimiwa Spika. Mheshimiwa Spika, jambo lingine nimetaka kuzungumza katika wawekezaji. Na nimeona kule tulikuwa tunaelezewa, wanasema wale investors wameweza kupunguziwa ushuru ili waje kwa wingi, waweze kutoa nafasi za ajira kwa wananchi wao, waweze kuendeleza ule uchumi wa ile taifa, Mheshimiwa Spika. Lakini sisi tumekuwa watu wa kupinga usiku na mchana. Hata tukipewa mwelekeo, Mheshimiwa Spika, tunakuwa ni watu wa kupinga kila siku, Mheshimiwa Spika. Mheshimiwa Spika, naangalia hii finance bill imekaa vizuri kabisa, na hata jambo ambalo wamekuwa wakizungumza la mtumba, na mimi nataka niambie mama mtumba kule sokoni Kongowea, hakuna ushuru ambao umewekwa kwa mitumba, Mheshimiwa Spika. Ile mtumba haina ushuru wowote, wao wanunua mitumba yao, waendelee kuuza, wale wasifuate fitina, Mheshimiwa Spika. Mheshimiwa Spika, katika ushuru ambao umewekewa katika nyumba, ni kwa mfano wale watu ambao wanakaa mataifa ya nje, muda mrefu hawako ndani ya taifa la Kenya, na wamekwepa muda mrefu kulipa ushuru. Hii ni ushuru ambayo inakusanyika, akija analipa kwa wakati mmoja, Mheshimiwa Spika. Si hawa ambao wamekaa hapa mwaka mzima, wamekaa hapa Kenya wanafanya mambo yao hapa, Mheshimiwa Spika. Kwa hiyo mimi nataka niweke wazi, hii finance bill ya mara hii, Mheshimiwa Spika, isiweze kuleta fitna ya kuweza kuchoma taifa. Kina mama na watoto ndio waliopoteza maisha yao, Mheshimiwa Spika, na wazee tukiona. Na kupalilia moto katika taifa sio kujenga taifa. Hata mimi leo ningekuwa kwenye upinzani, ningekuwa nanyoosha pale mahali natakikana, Mheshimiwa, bila kuweza kuchoma taifa, Mheshimiwa Spika. Kwa hiyo mimi nasema hii finance bill nimeiangalia vizuri, huduma bora hospitali, elimu yetu kwa msingi na mashule yetu kuweza kupata mgao wao, Mheshimiwa Spika, imeweza kuzingatiwa, Mheshimiwa Spika. Kisha nimeona wananchi wa Kenya wamepewa motisha. Wale ambao walikuwa wamelimbikiziwa mafaini ya kulipa kwa sababu walikwepa ushuru, Mheshimiwa Spika, wameweza kupewa motisha ya kutolewa ile ushuru ya juu ili waweze kuingia kwenye line ya kulipa ushuru. Manake, Mheshimiwa Spika, watu wengi wa Kenya hawalipi ushuru. Wanaolipa ushuru ni wachache, na ndio maana unaona ule mzigo wanaona kama unawafinya. Lakini wale ambao wanakwepa kulipa ushuru, Mheshimiwa Spika, ni wengi. Na mimi nikiangalia hapa sijaona ushuru ulioongezwa, ni mapanuzi ya kukusanya ushuru kwa wale ambao hawalipi ushuru, ndio kitu ambacho kimewekwa kwenye finance bill, Mheshimiwa Spika, na imezingatiwa vizuri. Na tusiweke fitna, tuweze kufocus, ndugu zangu. Hii Kenya ni yetu sisi sote. Leo tukaichoma kwa sababu ya mambo ya siasa. Juzi tulikaa vibaya, Mheshimiwa Spika, nakumbuka nilichomoka hapa mbio, mguu ni bebe, mguu wenyewe wa umma, siwezi kukimbia kwa sababu ya mambo ambayo yalikuwa yametokea, fitna, Mheshimiwa Spika. Mimi nina imani hawa ndugu zangu wana mawazo mazuri ya taifa, lakini waangalie msururu na njia kuweza kupeleka ile message kule nje, Mheshimiwa Spika. Finance bill iko sawa na mimi naweza kuisupport. Juzi na jana hapa, Mheshimiwa Spika, tuliweza kumfukuza Adani. Nimetoka katika zile airport za kimataifa, hasa Singapore ambao tulipata nao uhuru, Mheshimiwa Spika. Ukikaa pale unaona imeng'aa, imekaa vizuri, Mheshimiwa Spika. Sisi tuliweza kumpoteza yule jamaa. Leo Mwamerika amemtolea mashtaka, anasema alikuwa hana makosa, alindipukiziwa makosa ambayo alikuwa hanayo. Na sisi kama Wakenya tumepoteza. Kwa sababu gani? Kwa sababu ya fitna. Kwa hiyo mimi nasema hii finance bill, Mheshimiwa Spika, na mimi nashukuru kwa vile unavyoni protect, Mheshimiwa Spika, kwa sababu mambo ninayozungumza leo kama mama wa Mombasa County, mimi nikiangalia ile port, tumepewa mgao wetu ndani ya port ya kuweza kuendeleza mipango ndani ya port ya Mombasa, Mheshimiwa Spika.
What's your point of order?
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Are we here to debate the finance bill, or are we talking about trips people made to Singapore and Mombasa? Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Mheshimiwa Spika, mimi nataka niseme hivi. Ikiwa kama mtu ana akili ambazo anaduduvule ndani ya kichwa chake, ndio anaweza kuzungumza hivi. Mheshimiwa Spika, sisi tumetoka hapa kwa ushuru uliolipwa na Wakenya ili twende tukaangalie maendeleo yanayofanywa kwa mataifa mengine, mahali ambapo walikuwa na mahali sisi ambapo tuko, ili tuweze kuleta huo ujanja ndani ya Kenya. Si kuenda kulala usingizi. Kama wewe unakwenda matrip kulala usingizi, nenda mtandao wa Mama Zamzam, utaona nimeenda kuchapa kazi na naleta haki ya Wakenya katika Wakenya, haki ya maendeleo ndani ya bunge hili. Si kuchaguliwa na watu wa Mombasa nije kulala hapa. Mheshimiwa Spika, na iangalia ile port nikilinganisha na port ya Singapore. Mheshimiwa Spika, Singapore meli kila dakika 4 meli yaingia, lakini port yangu ya Mombasa kwa miezi 6 ndio unapata meli moja. Mheshimiwa Spika, nina haki ya kuwatetea wakazi wa Mombasa ili vijana wetu waweze kupata ajira. Lazima tupanue uchumi wa taifa, na ushuru lazima tutalipa, ila lazima ushuru huu uangaliwe vizuri, uingie kwenye kazi ambayo inatakikana. Mheshimiwa Spika, asante sana Mheshimiwa Spika.
Honorable Tongoyo. Honorable Tongoyo. Followed by the Honorable Oda, followed by the Honorable Mawade, and then Honorable Murugara. Proceed. In that order.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. My apologies. The name Tongoyo.
Order, honorable members. Sorry, Honorable Ngogoyo.
Yes. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Honorable Ngogoyo, proceed.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Order, Honorable Zamzam. Order.
Honorable Zamzam.
Zamzam, order. Take your seat. Order. 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 Order, honorable members. Allow honorable order. Yeah, what's your point of order, honorable majority leader? Kimani Chungwa.
Honorable Speaker.
Yes.
You know, our standing orders are very clear that we allow 2 languages in this house. Swahili as our national language and also English. And it is up to the member to choose what language to speak. The only thing we are not allowed to do by our standing orders is to mix the 2 languages. Therefore, the Honorable Ngogoyo is out of order. Honorable Speaker, I wanted to ask that you find Honorable Speaker, I wanted to ask that you protect the Honorable member for Mombasa County, the Honorable Zamzam.
Order. The chair is going to protect every member of parliament here. The Honorable Ngogoyo now has the floor.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
For protecting the member for Mombasa from those who are heckling here. Because Wamenyo told them to come and heckle instead of contributing ideas.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Can they at least read the bill?
Order, honorable members. I have given the Honorable Zamzam, you have my total protection. Oh, no, order.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I want to request...
Honorable Ngogoyo, Honorable Mawade, and then Honorable Murugara. Proceed in that order.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I first of all rise to oppose the finance bill as it has been presented before us, and the report that has been presented by the Honorable Chair, Kimani Kuria. Mr. Speaker, first of all, the amendments that have been proposed on various acts of this parliament are in contradiction of a number of principles that I will describe as I give my presentation. And number one, Mr. Speaker, there is a basic assumption that there is no new tax. I will prove that there are new taxes that are being proposed in my presentation, and anybody who has a dispute, I would want them to challenge me. Number one, Mr. Speaker, on the issue of Clause 31, and Mr. Speaker, under the law, Kimani Ichung'wah is taking photos of members while using his phone. It is wrong for a member of parliament to take photos because you're taking photos of honorable members, which is wrong. And Mr. Speaker, it is wrong for members to use their gadgets to take photos.
What is out of order, Majority Leader? And can you guillotine time for the Honorable Ngogoyo?
Honorable Speaker, you know I am a very disciplined member. And whenever I want to use my phone, I excuse myself to go to the back.
I'm on the
I
floor.
know the member for Kajiado. I am on a point of order if you can take your seat. The member for Kajiado is fond of mentioning my name in vain, apparently to gain favor from those he thinks he can gain favor from. And I can give you, Honorable Speaker, I want to direct that I release this phone to the Sergeant at Arms. If there is no photo taken anywhere, because I was simply texting as I listened, the Honorable Ngogoyo be held to account for his misleading statements that I am taking photos. I am too mature. I am not as immature as you are, my friend. I am not as immature as you are. I am too mature to be taking photos.
Mr. Speaker,
Honorable Majority
allow me,
Leader.
Mr.
He's the
Speaker,
one
to
who takes
finish.
photos to send to his girlfriend.
Order, please.
I have no reason.
Mr. Speaker,
Order, please.
on the issue,
Honorable Mongoyo. Honorable members, let me tell you what will happen. You intervene more, I will guillotine time for the members you seek to disrupt. Yeah, so let us allow everybody to have their time to speak, and let us rise on a point of order only when it is very necessary. Honorable Ngongoyo, the majority leader says he never took any photo. And I think just say you withdraw and apologize, we proceed with the matter.
Mr. Speaker, I saw him holding his phone, pointing at us. It is not wrong for me to raise that issue to you. And Mr. Speaker...
Honorable Ngongoyo.
Okay, I withdraw, Mr. Speaker. Allow me to go on with my...
Just to withdraw and apologize. I want us to move to...
Okay, Mr. Speaker, I withdraw and apologize to deal with the finance bill.
Thank you.
Mr. Speaker, on clause 31, the proposal by the executive is that they want to move items from 0 rating to exempting. What that means, Mr. Speaker, when you're supplying motorcycles on tariff heading to 8711, the supply of electric bicycles, the supply of solar, the supply of lithium, once they go to exempt, it means the cost will have to shift to the consumers. Mr. Speaker, this is a direct increment to the consumers. When you exempt anything, because before, the producers, the manufacturers will claim. But once you exempt, it means ideally you have increased the price of that commodity. Mr. Speaker, you have passed the cost to the consumer. That is number one. Number two, Mr. Speaker, the issue of VAT on digital platforms and financial services. The proposal, Mr. Speaker, is that you want to add VAT. Mr. Speaker, once you add VAT on services on digital platforms, directly, that will be a cost on Kenyans. Mr. Speaker, you cannot say you are not increasing taxes when you are bringing such kind of proposals. Mr. Speaker, I come from a county where we have a lot of production of ceramics. Mr. Speaker, the proposal by the executive through this bill on clause 36, they propose duty on imported ceramics and sanitary features. They even go ahead to propose that the tariff heading from 6910 from 5% or 50% per kilo to excisable value. Mr. Speaker, this is direct conflict of interest. Every year we have been dealing with this issue of people who have tiles and the issue of ceramics. It is specific people who do these businesses that you're interested in making them excisable. What this means, it is that you are targeting people not to pay taxes and move out the importers, people who are importing. Gekomba is full of people who import sanitary materials for sale. And they are cheaper because the economies of scale, for instance, in China, are better than in Kenya. Mr. Speaker, why do you want to advantage one person so that every time, every finance bill increases the cost for manufacturers who are local, and this is direct conflict of interest because you know the people who are in this business. But nobody will mention that because the committee at this point every year has continued to do so. Allow me, Mr. Speaker, to also go to a very controversial...
Honorable Mungoyo, so that we avoid points of order.
Okay.
the report of the committee seeks to delete that provision you're worried about.
Mr. Speaker, we are debating. Allow me, Mr. Speaker. Thank you very much. Mr. Speaker, we are debating the bill that is on the floor of the House. And Mr. Speaker, the report has been tabled.
Honorable Ngogoyo, the Chair Departmental Committee on Finance and National Planning is on a point of order.
Honorable Speaker, is honorable member in order to import improper motive on conflict of interest to the committee or to the report, Honorable Speaker? The items that the honorable member is purporting to read, he should actually declare if he is conflicted on the matter, because the matters that are contained in this bill, it's not just only ceramics, it's just only tiles. There are so many other variety of products that are being recommended to be excised, Honorable Speaker. And this, Honorable Speaker, is so that we incentivize also local manufacturing and we make sure we create our own jobs here rather than exporting those jobs to Kenya, Honorable Speaker. So I would want him to substantiate who is conflicted, Honorable Speaker, and if he does not say who is conflicted, then he should withdraw that statement, Honorable Speaker.
Mr. Speaker, 2 companies in Kajiado have closed down. They used to do tiles, one in Isinya, one in Pipeline Road. I am talking of details. They closed down back in 2023 when the first tax was introduced. I am saying that they raised even before the committee. They came before the committee.
Honorable Ngogoyo.
Allow me, Mr. Speaker, to say also, we are debating the bill that is before us. The report of the committee has just been tabled now. Not everyone has had access to it.
No, you are right. You're right.
The extension...
You're right. The question is,
yes,
have you said that the members of the Committee on Finance and National Planning have conflict of interest?
Mr. Speaker, I have not said so. Mr. Speaker, I am a seasoned member.
If you've
I
not
have
said
not imputed any motive.
well and good, the answer will be checked. If you've not said so, you should proceed. Proceed and make your...
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Allow me to say that, Mr. Speaker, I know you're, and I don't want, Mr. Speaker, to engage you because I'm the one on the floor, but allow me to say that we are debating the bill, not the report of the committee, because the report has been tabled now. But, Mr. Speaker, some of us have not had access to the report until it has been tabled just now. Now, on clause number 3, Mr. Speaker, allow me, Mr. Speaker, to just avoid this. On clause 7, Mr. Speaker, on the issue of the non-resident tax, Mr. Speaker, if you want to mean that foreigners are not paying rent, just say it in the bill. There is nothing wrong in it. Just say you want foreigners to pay. There are Kenyans who own houses in this country, in the diaspora. You are even encouraging them to buy houses in this country. If it is so, do not tax them twice or thrice, because even when some of them were building their own houses, they paid tax. They are also submitting, they are also bringing resources to this country that we do not have. If you want to grow an economy, you do not grow an economy by shouldering people who are trying to make their ends meet. The finance bill should be an enabler. If you're saying you're streamlining what? If it is revenue streams, when the bill that is proposed to this House wants to single-handedly issue the commissioner with the ability to charge me, to tax me using third-party information that they do not have access, they have not verified, and tell me that I am liable to pay this amount of tax. Mr. Speaker, what law would be vague? What law would be useless as such a law? Mr. Speaker, why we are in this House is to make sure we make laws for posterity. Characteristic of a good law is one that can go beyond next year, can go beyond this regime. What is proposed by this Kenya Kwanza regime is the worst finance bill that has ever been. This one that they are saying that you are streamlining and you have not increased. Uhuru Kenyatta, in his regime, he never wanted to increase tax beyond 20 billion. This one is proposing more than 117 billion. When you look at the figures and the impact of some of these amendments you are trying to propose, the amount are outrageous. Allow me, Mr. Speaker, to finish by saying that if it was a good law, you do not need to convince people to pass it, if it was a good law. A good law should explain itself, should be very explicit. And Mr. Speaker, even for business people, if you received 100,000 proposals from the public, it means it was dangerously bad. And Mr. Speaker, allow me to say that from clause 1 to the last clause, we will propose amendments that we feel will enable Kenyans not be burdened further than what they have been burdened. As I conclude, Mr. Speaker, on the issue of Mr. Speaker, on the issue of the change of dates of filing returns, Mr. Speaker, people who are doing nil returns, you cannot give them 1 month. Mr. Speaker, why people do nil returns? It means they have not made profits. It means, too, they were not able, probably within the financial year, to meet the expectations. When you say you've given them a month, why are you giving them a timeline? Mr. Speaker, returns. Some of us are not accountants. Some of us need advice from our financial experts. When you bring in a timeline to people who have nil returns, these are the local Kenyans, these are university students. Why do you want to impose that on them? Mr. Speaker, this is more dangerous than what we had even in the last financial year. As I conclude, Mr. Speaker, the issue of gratuity, it might look a good proposal to say that your gratuity, you'll get it in 3 years. But remember, at the end of that proposal, you are disadvantaging employers and forcing them to be in contracts with employees for a number of years. There are a lot of people who have given their employees 1 year contract, 6 months contract, based on their ability. Now you're forcing them to go to 3 years because the issue of gratuity will be scaled down to the employees that you have. Mr. Speaker, in my honest opinion, let us reject this finance bill. It doesn't add value to any Kenyan. It is a burden. It is bad. It is a regime that wants to take.
Yeah, who was next, Honorable Mawade? And honorable members, remember you just passed the budget, which you are the ones who made. Also make suggestions in terms of
Mr.
how you want to
Speaker.
fund that budget.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, since you're on the chair, I will refrain from commenting on what you just said, implying that we should pass the finance bill because we just passed the budget. Allow me to contribute. Please protect me from some hecklers. There is hecklers near me. Mr. Speaker, I stand to oppose. I say reject this finance bill because of the following reason. This finance bill puts some taxes on the digital platform.
Honorable Mawade, which member did you refer to as a heckler?
Mr. Speaker, she's shouting. She's shouting. I'm being polite. I'm responding to the Speaker. You're taking on my time.
Yeah,
she was shouting.
Yeah, that is not parliamentary language.
Okay. Is it parliamentary? Mr. Speaker, is it parliamentary for her to shout? She's still shouting. Allow me to continue. Allow me to protect me, Mr. Speaker.
The use of the term heckler
protect me, Mr. Speaker.
From the answered.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Speaker, I say reject this finance bill because of the following reasons. It introduces the need of payment or additional taxes on the payment platforms. Now, any Kenyan who goes out there and pays anything using M-Pesa, they will be taxed. Why are we going after the poor mwananchi, taxing the little that they have? They can barely afford to buy skuma and unga and sukari, and when they pay through M-Pesa, they are taxed. That is incorrect. As mwananchi says, as is known in Swahili, and I quote, punda amechoka. The other one is, if you buy the deadline, let me come back to the deadline for filing taxes has been moved to 6 months to 4 months. That is wrong. Let's reject this finance bill. Let's stick with the 6 months. Otherwise, we reject this finance bill. You are adding tax on the small things. We are saying let's use climate-friendly means of getting power. You're putting taxes on items like lithium. So lithium batteries. And so it is important that we find a way to get money without having to tax what the common mwananchi is using out there. We are
we are increasing taxes on the poor and reducing taxes on the rich. They have gone there and they have reduced taxes on the choppers, on the planes, and such items. And yet they are increasing taxes on the payment, M-Pesa payment that is used by every common mwananchi. On the issue of KRA,
Honorable George Sunkuya, you are on a point of order.
Point of order. The honorable member is actually explaining things that they are not in this bill. Read properly.
Have you read the finance bill? Have you read it?
Honorable Mawade.
Have you read it?
Order. Take your seat. Take your seat, Honorable Mawade. Honorable Mawade, don't worry about time. Take your seat. Take your seat. Honorable George Sunkuya, what was your point of order?
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Actually, what is reading, it is something that is not in that particular, it is not in that bill. Surely. Don't just stand and make a lot of noise because you want to show that you are opposing the bill.
Honorable Mawade, your point is made. Your point is made. Honorable Mawade, what clause of the bill are you referring to?
Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Just specify the clause and you continue.
I don't have a friend. I can give you the clause later on. But Mr. Speaker, as you are doing the mediation between the people, also let's also be neutral. Because I would want to ask my friend Mheshimiwa Sunkuya just return the notes to the owner of the notes and I proceed. So because those are your notes. Can you read them? Can you read them? Can you read them? On the issue of KRA.
Majority leader is
on the issue of KRA. Mr. Speaker, he's interrupting
there are a number
everybody.
of things that I've had being referred to. Honorable Mawade, at the inception of his speech, he said because you are at the Speaker's seat, he does not want to refer to what you had said about passing the finance bill, the budget and the finance bill now. Yet you contributed as a member for Homa Bay. And when you sit as Speaker, you sit as a Speaker. And he continues to impute improper motive on the Speaker because now he has just again impugned the same on what the Honorable member for Kajiado West was speaking to. And the issue, Honorable Speaker, that the Honorable Mawade was raising was on the lithium-ion batteries, electric motorcycles, electric buses, and the Speaker...
What is the point of order, Mr. Speaker?
Not the Speaker. What is the Speaker? When I'm on a point of order, the member cannot be up on his speech.
Honorable Mawade, take your seat. Don't worry about time.
The chair of the committee, in his report, indicated that the lithium batteries, the electric buses, the motorcycles have since been proposed to be removed from that list because with the current high fuel prices, we must make sure that electric mobility is easily available to Kenyans, Honorable Speaker. And therefore, the member is misleading the country, and that is the point that the Honorable Gogoy was raising. He is misleading the country because, Honorable Speaker, if you can protect me from the shouting by the Honorable Gogoy.
Honorable members, as I told you, there is no more important thing to debate than the finance bill.
Yes.
For members. And that is why I'm saying, let us hear one another. If you raise point of order, I'll freeze their time. The point being made, Honorable Mawade, I asked you to show what clause. I also know it is under the VAT.
And he imputed improper motive on you, telling you to be fair, Honorable Speaker. And that was what I was saying. Honorable Speaker, if you can protect me from the member for Kajiado North, the Honorable Gogoyo. I know shouting might be his profession, but as you have said, Honorable Speaker, this finance bill, we cannot debate it by shouting. Honorable Speaker, when Honorable Gogoyo was on his feet, I never rose because he had nothing of substance to say that anyone could react to. I am raising a point of order that Honorable Mawade has spoken to because he's saying substantive things. The member for Kajiado North was just playing to the gallery and had nothing substantive that anyone can react to.
Honorable Tongoyo.
I can never react to.
Order, Honorable, the majority leader. Honorable Tongoyo. Honorable Tongoyo. Is Gongoyo. The MP for Kajiado North, allow the Speaker to preside over the House. Allow the Speaker to preside over the House. Don't shout at a member contributing across the aisles. You see, you are now talking at the Speaker. That is also against the standing order. Yes, so don't do it again. Yeah, proceed. Honorable Mawade. Honorable Mawade will continue.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker.
The Honorable Ndindi Nyoro.
Mr. Speaker.
Honorable Speaker.
This is becoming a drama. You know, so many point of orders, Mr. Speaker.
Honorable Speaker.
What is out of order?
Honorable Speaker, is it proper that we continue to limit the debate to a point of actually gagging the members? We have two documents before us, Honorable Speaker. There is the bill that is before us, but there is the report of the committee. I would request that we do not limit members on how they discuss, Honorable Speaker. One may be quoting the report and not the bill. Honorable Speaker, bulldozing members, you have to show us the clause. Let us open the debate, Honorable Speaker. There are much more things than in the bill. There are also some things in the report that are not necessarily in the bill, Honorable Speaker. Let us make the debate robust. Let us give our views, Honorable Speaker, for the betterment of the welfare of Kenyans.
Yeah, Honorable Ndindi Nyoro was waiting to hear what was out of order.
Thank you.
In fact, there is nothing out of order.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Honorable Mawade, you conclude now.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, we are not discussing the report of the committee. We are discussing the finance bill as it was tabled in the House. So, and nobody has a right to bully, no matter what position they hold in this House. Nobody has the right to bully or bulldoze.
Honorable Mawade, are you still contributing on the bill?
I am. Yes, I am. Yes, I am. Nobody, because nobody has a right to stand up all the time and interrupting and attempting to bull because he holds a particular position. It is, we are all elected members of parliament, elected within a constituency equally. When you walk in that door before swearing in, we are all equal. Simply because you hold a midget position doesn't mean that you can bully and bulldoze everybody. Mr. Speaker, coming to my last point, Mr. Speaker, they are attempting. This committee and the finance bill is aiming to raise 117 billion in 1 year only. By raising 117 billion in 1 year, in the 55 million Kenyans, that means every Kenyan will have to contribute almost more than 2 million shillings per person. That's very unfair, even to the poor, even the children. This finance bill is very punitive, and I oppose and I recommend reject the finance bill. Reject the finance bill. Reject the finance bill. On my last point, when also on an issue, when we want to ask the clerks, please be fair. When somebody is on this side, on our side of the aisle, you are turning off the mics very, very fast. You are turning off the clerks. Be fair, be neutral. You are turning off the mics very fast. And you're allowing just one individual to be running. So let's be fair. Allow yourself to be guided by the time. I wanted this to be answered that you're being unfair.
Honorable Mawade, take your seat. The chair finance committee is on a point of order.
Honorable Speaker, is a member in order to misinform this House that this finance bill, because first of all, it gets the number wrong. It's not 117 billion, it's 98.5 billion. But even if we went with the number that you have, 117 billion, and you're saying that's going to now require every Kenyan to pay at least 2 million shillings. What kind of mathematics are you doing? It's a simple division matter, Honorable Speaker. So you cannot, Honorable Speaker, the member cannot. It means inform this House that 117 billion shillings divided by 55 million people is 2 million shillings, unless he tells us which mathematics is that.
Yeah, Chair of the Finance Committee, I saw Honorable Mawade make that point, and the response from Honorable Ndindi Nyoro was to laugh when I thought Honorable Ndindi Nyoro was to deal with it. The Honorable Murugara is now recognized to make his contribution.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, the debate is hilarious to some extent, purely because as we discuss the Finance Bill 2026, we're also dealing with mathematics of large numbers. And this is why once in a while we have to say or float figures that do not tally, like just what we have heard that I have to pay 2 million shillings for the country to raise 98 billion. I don't think that is correct. Number two, we must also appreciate that part of the work of this House is to go to comparative jurisdictions so that we are able to see what is happening there. We are able to learn from what is positive and we bring it back to the country. So it is absolutely in order to draw analogies and comparatives so that as we debate, we also enlighten our people on exactly what is happening out there and the reasons why we are proposing what we are proposing and the reasons you are opposing what you are opposing. As we debate this also, it's important to know that we have passed two very important bills, the appropriations and the division of revenue. And just the other day, as the estimates were being presented to us, we were all over foot thumping because some of the proposals that were being made were actually in tandem with what Kenyans want. The time has come now for us to debate, having passed the budget, exactly what Kenyans are getting out of it. How are we going to fund it? And there must be a way of funding a budget. It cannot be in abstract that we are not going to fund it because if we don't fund it, then we had no reasons whatsoever to pass these particular bills. For the appropriations, we have actually, and on that particular day, we were informed a very important component. And I'm giving an example of what we are funding. Part of the 998 billion that we have to raise is the 3.9 billion that is allocated to the local administrators in the villages, known as village elders. The country is now awash with the jubilation that this House has made an allocation for those workers down there. Now, if we do not fund that, we have to go back to them to explain why they are not going to get their stipends, why they are not going to get their allowances, because we, as a House of Parliament, the budget-making House, has rejected the finance bill. The division of revenue, which is the monies going to the counties and to the national government. This House took a lot of time to mediate, arbitrate, and come up with what is due to the county governments. At the end of the day, we had to agree on 428 billion. And I remember some of our colleagues were saying that is still not sufficient. It is not sufficient because it is funded by what? We must actually debate how we are going to raise monies to fund the various budget items which we have passed. Now, it is being argued that we can debate the bill without the committee report, which one may choose to do, but if you choose to debate the bill without the committee report, you are actually in an exercise of futility. You are trying to debate moot, because if the committee has made a proposal to amend, which proposal may carry favor with this House, then it renders your debate nugatory. You have debated on a matter that actually is not of any substance. So what we need to be doing, as a matter of fact, is we have the bill, which you must look at. There is, most important, the report. Although it has just been tabled, we must take time to look at it, because, as for me, I have read the bill. I have read the bill. That's number one.
Honorable Mawade, you are not recognized.
Yes.
And remember the standing order provisions to
I have read the bill.
A point of order when you are not recognized is a disorderly conduct. I have said you are not recognized.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. We continue. I have read the bill. and I know what the bill provides. However, I have not read the report, but I keenly listened to the chairperson of the Finance Committee as he went over the report, proposing amendments. And those amendments are vital because they are removing some of the proposals we have in this bill. They are deleting some, they are amending some, so as to come into consonance with what Kenyans brought up at public participation. And this is important because Kenyans also had a say. They came to us, they gave their views, and they told us this is what we think is most appropriate. It is important to acknowledge that those proposals that are being made are so that we accommodate the views of Kenyans who looked at the bill. It is being proposed that the amendments are too many, and there is absolutely nothing wrong with that, because that is our work. Our work is to make laws, to tailor laws that are in compliance with our constitution and in compliance with what our people tell us when we take those laws for public participation. So there is absolutely nothing wrong with the proposing deletions, amendments, or whatever alterations we think are necessary. Finally, it is also very important to know that in the developed countries, and this is where we are drawing analogies, most of them are welfare states. And we keep on saying every day that Kenyans would want to go to Singapore or would want to become like Singapore. And most of us, members of parliament, they are waiting for us down there to ask you questions. What exactly are you doing in the parliament now that we do not have electricity, we do not have good roads, we do not have water, we do not have everything? Honorable Muthui started by saying the three basic needs or basic rights are food, shelter, and clothing. And that remains it. A parliament that is functional must constantly look at the basic rights of its people. So as we debate this, we must bear in mind that, number one, we have the housing plan, which is going on, such that our country must be moving towards development. And the housing as a shelter is paramount. Number two, we must also acknowledge that we are bringing in water. And there's no way this country can develop without provision of water. And this is exactly what is being funded by the proposed finance bill. And finally, we must also address electricity. We must address our roads. And the roads are important because we have said we must now move towards having tarmac roads, not just in urban centers, but also in the rural constituencies. And I speak this, I have spoken to the people of the Raka constituency to tell them what this bill entails. And I confirm that when I took a vote from them, they told me, go and agree with the bill, because all the things that we are expecting from the government must come to us, and we must be able to actually realize the development promised. So with those remarks, I do support this, and I'll be listening to the proposed amendments to support them because they're important. Thank you very much.
The Honorable Ndindi Nyoro.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. And on the onset, just like many things from this government, dangerous things are wrapped in semantics, Honorable Speaker. But I want to start, Honorable Speaker, by first bemoaning the point that the finance bill, as it is, was actually published in the order paper slightly before the session. And clearly, Honorable Speaker, this was an ambush to members of parliament. But I want to hail all the pro-people members of parliament for turning up, Honorable Speaker, and defeating the treachery that had been planned, Honorable Speaker. Secondly, I had an opportunity to attend before the committee because, as Kenyans know, we are in a situation that is not ordinary, and especially when it comes to fuel prices. And I thank Parliament for giving me an opportunity to appear before the committee, and Honorable Chair, you are there. And I gave proposals, the reasoning having been that the situation the globe is facing is temporal. And it would have been better for Kenya to address this temporal matter, Honorable Speaker, if we could, other than having sticky situations affect our economy in the future. Now we have seen already there are movements around peace, Honorable Speaker, in the Middle East. And Honorable Speaker, it is very disappointing that I gave proposals that would lower fuel prices, notably being lowering VAT on fuel products for a period of 6 months and excise duty. But Honorable Speaker, the committee has decided to give the proposal a wide berth. It is a very dark day on that sphere, Honorable Speaker, and I wish the committee, Honorable Speaker, would have listened to Kenyans and especially around this point in time. Secondly, Honorable Speaker, I also want to give an issue around the finance bill itself.
Order, Honorable Ndindi Nyoro.
Honorable Speaker, on a point of procedure, the Honorable Member for Kiharu is a member of this House. The committee, Honorable Speaker...
Honorable members, you know, just a minute. I said before that we have passed the budget. In as much as we may have a contest with the finance bill, as members, let us think of how to raise funds to fund that budget. Without saying you should either support or go against it. The Honorable Kuria Kimani, what point are you making?
Honorable Speaker, it is starting on the 71 on a statement of fact, Honorable Speaker. In terms of procedures of this House, and it's important that even as we speak to the gallery, we speak the truth. Our committee tabled our report today. We've seen even the leader of Majority Party recommending that you will be moving amendments of that particular bill. Yourself, a member of this particular committee, Honorable Speaker, you have said there are some clauses that you feel you'll be moving those amendments on this particular bill, Honorable Speaker. The MP for Kiharu should not impute improper motive of the committee. We are in no any obligation to adopt your recommendations. If you think you are convincing enough, Honorable Speaker, you need to come to the House tomorrow, draft those amendments, convince the House, and the House will agree with you, Honorable Speaker. It's that simple, Honorable Speaker. It's just a matter of procedure.
Honorable Kuria Kimani, your point is made. Honorable Ndindi Nyoro will proceed.
Honorable Speaker, that is the kind of filibustering that is wasting our time here in this House, Honorable Speaker, other than debating very important issues before us. Honorable Speaker, the second point is that as a country, Honorable Speaker, as a country, we need an introspection, Honorable Speaker. We have always had these finance bills every single year, Honorable Speaker. What are we told all the time? Tax administration, raising more revenue. But Honorable Speaker, let us use data. The most heated finance bill was 2024. And the leaders of this House are in record, Honorable Speaker, saying that even if Kenyans rejected, that leaders still went ahead and implemented in whichever way, Honorable Speaker. But this is the point. What did the country achieve, Honorable Speaker? I have looked at the graph in terms of the revenue of this country for the last 20 years, Honorable Speaker. There is nowhere you see a bump in the name of revenue-raising measures contained in the finance bill. The revenue in the country, Honorable Speaker, has grown organically the same way for all those years. And this is the point I'm trying to make, Honorable Speaker.
Take your seat, Honorable Nyoro. I will freeze time for you.
Honorable
Majority Leader, what is out of order?
The member for Kiharu alleges that in 2024, despite the finance bill having been rejected, while it was passed in this House, leaders in this House went ahead to implement it. There are about 4 leaders now in this House: the Honorable Bui, the Honorable Mwenje, the Honorable Mili, the Honorable Naomi Wako, and myself, Honorable Speaker. And any decision of this House is not a decision of the leadership of this House. And we must be factual, Honorable Speaker, because the finance bill of 2024 was passed by this House in June. It was rejected by Kenyans. The President refused to assent to it, facts of life. On the 4th and the 5th of December 2024, this House passed proposals that were in the finance bill in 4 bills: the tax procedures bill of 2024, the tax amendment bill of 2024, business laws 1 of 2024, business laws 2 of 2024. And is therefore wrong for the Honorable Ndindi Nyoro to be insinuating, imputing improper motive on the leadership of this House. And I have no particular leaders, including myself, who are seated in this House. And Honorable Robert Muthui is on record having opposed the finance bill of 2024. He's on record. The Honorable Millie Odhiambo is on record having opposed that bill. The Honorable Mwenje is on record having supported that bill, opposed. The Honorable Kimani Ichung'wah, the Honorable Naomi Wako are on record having supported that bill. The Honorable Ndindi Nyoro is on record having supported that bill. We must be honest and fair to the people of Kenya. Because, Honorable Speaker, I will not sit here as a leader and allow a member to impute improper motive and mislead Kenyans just out of political expediency, Honorable Speaker. Let us speak to the facts, and Honorable Ndindi Nyoro says we are filibustering here. We are not filibustering. If you invite the wrath of the leadership of the House or any member by imputing improper motive on them, we will interrupt you. But if you stick to issues that are contained either in the bill or in the committee report, nobody will interrupt you. But we will not allow you to mislead the House and impute improper motive on us. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker.
Honorable Nyoro, continue with your contribution.
Thank you very much, Honorable
Taking note what the majority leader said.
Honorable Speaker, that is the tragedy of being self-absorbed, Honorable Speaker.
That standing
and I'm
next
saying
to
that, Honorable Speaker, because leaders in this House, every member in this House is a leader, Honorable Speaker.
Take your seat.
Every member in this House is a leader in their own right, Honorable Speaker. And therefore, please.
Honorable Nyoro. The Honorable DK Kiplagat. Take your seat. Take your seat. Take your seat. Take your seat. You've taken your seat at the right time. Let me not caution you to do the right thing again.
Honorable Speaker, that is the tragedy of being self-absorbed. When you have a higher estimation of yourself, Honorable Speaker, than the reality. Because, Honorable Speaker, every person in this House is a leader, Honorable Speaker. It doesn't matter the positions you occupy in this House. We are here as leaders, all of us, with an equal voice to represent Kenyans. Secondly, Honorable Speaker, the point I was trying to make. We need an introspection, Honorable Speaker. And we check through facts. These sequential finance bills every year, what have they yielded? Other than instability when it comes to policies in terms of the investments and decision-making, Honorable Speaker, of business people and economic actors. The third thing, Honorable Speaker, that I want to pinpoint, Honorable Speaker. Kenyans watch in horror, Honorable Speaker. And Kenyans, we are dismayed. We have seen different pronouncements, Honorable Speaker, from the same government addressing the same issue. We have seen the head of state, Honorable Speaker, talking about exemption, Honorable Speaker, of payee for the Kenyans earning below 30,000 Kenya shillings, Honorable Speaker. That has not been carried in here, Honorable Speaker. These kind of roadside creations, Honorable Speaker, are the ones we need to bring an end to, Honorable Speaker. But more importantly, Honorable Speaker, Kenyans earning below 30,000 shillings deserve a reprieve, Honorable Speaker. And especially in a situation where their pockets are raided from every direction, from the cost of living to taxes and levies, Honorable Speaker. Kenyans who are watching us expected that Kenyans earning below 30,000 shillings, Honorable Speaker, will be exempted from pay from this discussion, from this bill, Honorable Speaker.
Honorable Ndindi Nyoro, take your seat. Take your seat. The Honorable Kiplagat is on a point of order.
Order, Speaker. I don't know. I was wondering whether I'm transparent because I've been asking for a point of order for a very long time. But all the same, stop the noise. I'm on a point of order. Whether you like it or not, I'm on a point of order. Can I prosecute? Can you allow me to prosecute? Point of order, Speaker. Make noise. When you finish, I can contribute.
Honorable Kiplagat, please address the Speaker.
You see, I'm trying to make a statement and they are making noise.
You are on a point of order. You are not making a statement.
Okay. The point of order I'm raising on. The point of order I'm raising on. Honorable Ndindi Nyoro, who is well versed in the current affairs, knows very well that what was happening between America and Iran, already there is a deal, and the deal will be signed on Friday, and that one has allowed the oil.
Honorable Kiplagat, take your seat. You are certainly on a point of argument. You'll get your time to make your argument. Honorable Ndindi Nyoro, conclude.
Honorable Speaker, the other thing is the insinuations we've been hearing here around Mitumba, Honorable Speaker. Yes, we need to grow our own industries in Kenya. But Honorable Speaker, it is always good to give a transition period. And I'm saying that because I've listened here some members making insinuations which are not correct, insinuating that there is no tax on Mitumba. Honorable Speaker, the fact of the matter is that the committee itself purporting to have had public participants who are themselves manufacturing a country that we do not have. If you want to grow an economy, you do not grow an economy by shouldering people who are trying to make their ends meet. The finance bill should be an enabler. If you're saying you're streamlining what? If it is revenue streams, when the bill that is proposed to this House wants to single-handedly issue the commissioner with the ability to charge me, to tax me using third-party information that they do not have access, they have not verified, and tell me that I am liable to pay this amount of tax. Mr. Speaker, what law would be vague? What law would be useless as such a law? Mr. Speaker, why we are in this House is to make sure we make laws for posterity. Characteristic of a good law is one that can go beyond next year, can go beyond this regime. What is proposed by this Kenya Kwanza regime is the worst finance bill that has ever been. This one, that they are saying that you are streamlining and you have not increased. Uhuru Kenyatta, in his regime, he never wanted to increase tax beyond 20 billion. This one is proposing more than 117 billion. When you look at the figures and the impact of some of these amendments you are trying to propose, the amount are outrageous. Allow me, Mr. Speaker, to finish by saying that if it was a good law, you do not need to convince people to pass it, if it was a good law. A good law should explain itself, should be very explicit. And Mr. Speaker, even for business people, if you received 100,000 proposals from the public, it means it was dangerously bad. And Mr. Speaker, allow me to say that from clause 1 to the last clause, we will propose amendments that we feel will enable Kenyans not be burdened further than what they have been burdened. As I conclude, Mr. Speaker, on the issue of Mr. Speaker, on the issue of the change of dates of filing returns, Mr. Speaker, people who are doing nil returns, you cannot give them 1 month. Mr. Speaker, why people do nil returns? It means they have not made profits. It means, 2, they were not able, probably within the financial year, to meet the expectations. When you say you've given them a month, why are you giving them a timeline? Mr. Speaker, returns, some of us are not accountants. Some of us need advice from our financial experts. When you bring in a timeline to people who have nil returns, these are the local Kenyans, these are university students. Why do you want to impose that on them? Mr. Speaker, this is more dangerous than what we had even in the last financial year. As I conclude, Mr. Speaker, the issue of gratuity, it might look a good proposal to say that your gratuity, you'll get it in 3 years. But remember, at the end of that proposal, you are disadvantaging employers and forcing them to be in contracts with employees for a number of years. There are a lot of people who have given their employees 1-year contract, 6 months contract, based on their ability. Now you're forcing them to go to 3 years because the issue of gratuity will be scaled down to the employees that you have. Mr. Speaker, in my honest opinion, let us reject this finance bill. It doesn't add value to any Kenyan. It is a burden. It is bad. It is a regime that wants to take.
Yeah, who was next? Honorable Mawade. And honorable members, remember you just passed the budget, which you are the ones who made. Also make
Thank you.
suggestions in
Thank you,
terms of how
Mr.
you want to
Speaker.
fund that budget.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, since you're on the chair, I will refrain on what was you just hecklers to oppose. I say reject this finance bill because of the following reason. This finance bill puts...
Continue.
I don't have the frame. I can give the clause later on. But Mr. Speaker, as you are doing the mediation between the people, also let's also be neutral. Because I would want to ask my friend Mheshimiwa Sunkuya just return the notes to the owner of the notes and I proceed. So because those are your notes. Have you?
Honorable Tongoyo. Is Gongoyo the MP for Kajiado North? Allow the Speaker to preside over the House. Allow the Speaker to preside over the House. Don't shout at a member contributing across the aisles. You see, you are now talking at the Speaker. That is also against the standing order. Yes, so don't do it again. Yeah, proceed. Honorable Mawade.
Thank you.
Continue.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker.
Honorable Ndindi Nyoro.
Mr. Speaker.
Honorable Speaker.
This is becoming a drama. You know, so many point of orders, Mr. Speaker.
Honorable Speaker.
What is out of order?
Honorable Speaker, is it proper that we continue to limit the debate to a point of actually gagging the members? We have two documents before us, Honorable Speaker. There is the bill that is before us, but there is the report of the committee. I would request that we do not limit members on how they discuss, Honorable Speaker. One may be quoting the report and not the bill. Honorable Speaker, bulldozing members, you have to show us the clause. Let us open the debate, Honorable Speaker. There are much more things than in the bill. There are also some things in the report that are not necessarily in the bill, Honorable Speaker. Let us make the debate robust. Let us give our views, Honorable Speaker, for the betterment of the welfare of Kenyans.
Yeah, Honorable Ndindi Nyoro was waiting to hear what was out of order.
Thank you.
In fact, there is nothing out of order.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Honorable Mawade, you conclude now.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, we are not discussing the report of the committee. We are discussing the finance bill as it was tabled in the House. So, and nobody has a right to bully, no matter what position they hold in this House. Nobody has the right to bully or bulldoze.
Honorable Mawade, are you still contributing on the bill?
I am. Yes, I am. Yes, I am. Because nobody has a right to stand up all the time and interrupting and attempting to bull because he holds a particular position. It is, we are all elected members of parliament, elected within a constituency equally. When we walk in that door before we are
states. And we keep on saying every day that Kenyans would want to go to Singapore or would want to become like Singapore. And most of us, members of parliament, they are waiting for us down there to ask you questions. What exactly are you doing in the parliament now that we do not have electricity, we do not have good roads, we do not have water, we do not have everything? Honorable Muthui started by saying the three basic needs or basic rights are food, shelter, and clothing. And that remains it. A parliament that is functional must constantly look at the basic rights of its people. So as we debate this, we must bear in mind that, number one, we have the housing plan, which is going on, such that our country must be moving towards development. And the housing as a shelter is paramount. Number two, we must also acknowledge that we are bringing in water. And there's no way this country can develop without provision of water. And this is exactly what is being funded by the proposed finance bill. And finally, we must also address electricity. We must address our roads. And roads are important because we have said we must now move towards having tarmac roads, not just in urban centers, but also in the rural constituencies. And I speak this, I have spoken to the people of the Raka constituency to tell them what this bill entails. And I confirm that when I took a vote from them, they told me, go and agree with the bill, because all the things that we are expecting from the government must come to us, and we must be able to actually realize the development promised. So with those remarks, I do support this, and I'll be listening to the proposed amendments to support them because they're important. Thank you very much.
The Honorable Ndindi Nyoro.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. And on the onset, just like many things from this government, dangerous things are wrapped in semantics, Honorable Speaker. But I want to start, Honorable Speaker, by first bemoaning the point that the finance bill, as it is, was actually published in the order paper slightly before the session. And clearly, Honorable Speaker, this was an ambush to members of parliament. But I want to hail all the pro-people members of parliament for turning up, Honorable Speaker, and defeating the treachery that had been planned, Honorable Speaker. Secondly, I had an opportunity to attend before the committee because, as Kenyans know, we are in a situation that is not ordinary, and especially when it comes to fuel prices. And I thank Parliament for giving me an opportunity to appear before the committee, and Honorable Chair, you are there. And I gave proposals. The reasoning having been that the situation the globe is facing is temporal. And it would have been better for Kenya to address this temporal matter, Honorable Speaker, if we could, other than having sticky situations affect our economy in the future. Now we have seen already there are movements around peace, Honorable Speaker, in the Middle East. And Honorable Speaker, it is very disappointing that I gave proposals that would lower fuel prices, notably being lowering VAT on fuel products for a period of 6 months and excise duty. But Honorable Speaker, the committee has decided to give the proposal a wide berth. It is a very dark day on that sphere, Honorable Speaker, and I wish the committee, Honorable Speaker, would have listened to Kenyans, and especially around this point in time. Secondly, Honorable Speaker, I also want to give an issue around the finance bill itself.
Order, Honorable Ndindi Nyoro.
Honorable Speaker, on a point of procedure, the Honorable Member for Kiharu is a member of this House. The committee, Honorable Speaker...
Honorable members, you know, just a minute. I said before that we have passed the budget. In as much as we may have a contest with the finance bill, as members, let us think of how to raise funds to fund that budget. Without saying you should either support or go against it. The Honorable Kuria Kimani, what point are you making?
Honorable Speaker, it is starting on the 71 on a statement of fact, Honorable Speaker. In terms of procedures of this House, and it's important that even as we speak to the gallery, we speak the truth. Our committee tabled our report today. We've seen even the leader of Majority Party recommending that you'll be moving amendments of that particular bill. Yourself, a member of this particular committee, Honorable Speaker, you have said there are some clauses that you feel you'll be moving those amendments on this particular bill, Honorable Speaker. The MP for Kiharu should not impute improper motive of the committee. We are in no any obligation to adopt your recommendations. If you think you are convincing enough, Honorable Speaker, you need to come to the House tomorrow, draft those amendments, convince the House, and the House will agree with you, Honorable Speaker. It's that simple, Honorable Speaker. It's just a matter of procedure.
Honorable Kuria Kimani, your point is made. Honorable Ndindi Nyoro will proceed.
Honorable Speaker, that is the kind of filibustering that is wasting our time here in this House, Honorable Speaker, other than debating very important issues before us. Honorable Speaker, the second point is that as a country, Honorable Speaker, as a country, we need an introspection, Honorable Speaker. We have always had these finance bills every single year, Honorable Speaker. What are we told all the time? Tax administration, raising more revenue. But Honorable Speaker, let us use data. The most heated finance bill was 2024. And the leaders of this House are in record, Honorable Speaker, saying that even if Kenyans rejected, that leaders still went ahead and implemented in whichever way, Honorable Speaker. But this is the point. What did the country achieve, Honorable Speaker? I have looked at the graph in terms of the revenue of this country for the last 20 years, Honorable Speaker. There is nowhere you see a bump in the name of revenue-raising measures contained in the finance bill. The revenue in the country, Honorable Speaker, has grown organically the same way for all those years. And this is the point I'm trying to make, Honorable Speaker.
Take your seat, Honorable Yoro. I will freeze time for you.
Honorable
Majority Leader, what is out of order?
The member for Kiharu alleges that in 2024, despite the finance bill having been rejected, while it was passed in this House, leaders in this House went ahead to implement it. There are about 4 leaders now in this House: the Honorable Bui, the Honorable Mwenje, the Honorable Mili, the Honorable Naomi Wako, and myself, Honorable Speaker. And any decision of this House is not a decision of the leadership of this House. And we must be factual, Honorable Speaker, because the finance bill of 2024 was passed by this House in June. It was rejected by Kenyans. The President refused to assent to it, facts of life. On the 4th and the 5th of December 2024, this House passed proposals that were in the finance bill in 4 bills: the tax procedures bill of 2024, the tax amendment bill of 2024, business laws 1 of 2024, business laws 2 of 2024. And is therefore wrong for the Honorable Dindi Nyoro to be insinuating, imputing improper motive on the leadership of this House. And I have named particular leaders, including myself, who are seated in this House. And Honorable Robert Bui is on record having opposed the finance bill of 2024. He's on record. The Honorable Mili Odhiambo is on record having opposed that bill. The Honorable Mwenje is on record having supported that bill, opposed. The Honorable Kimani Ichung'wah, the Honorable Naomi Wako are on record having supported that bill. The Honorable Dindi Nyoro is on record having supported that bill. We must be honest and fair to the people of Kenya. Because, Honorable Speaker, I will not sit here as a leader and allow a member to impute improper motive and mislead Kenyans just out of political expediency, Honorable Speaker. Let us speak to the facts. And Honorable Dindi Nyoro says we are filibustering here. We are not filibustering. If you invite the wrath of the leadership of the House or any member by imputing improper motive on them, we will interrupt you. But if you stick to issues that are contained either in the bill or in the committee report, nobody will interrupt you. But we will not allow you to mislead the House and impute improper motive on us. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker.
Honorable Nyoro, continue with your contribution.
Thank you very much, Honorable
Taking note what the majority leader said.
Honorable Speaker, that is the tragedy of being self-absorbed, Honorable Speaker.
Who is that standing
and I'm
next
saying
to
that, Honorable Speaker, because leaders in this House, every member in this House is a leader, Honorable Speaker.
Take your seat.
Every member in this House is a leader in their own right, Honorable Speaker. And therefore, please.
Honorable Nyoro. The Honorable DK Kiplagat. Take your seat. Take your seat. Take your seat. Take your seat. You've taken your seat at the right time. Let me not caution you to do the right thing again.
Honorable Speaker, that is the tragedy of being self-absorbed. When you have a higher estimation of yourself, Honorable Speaker, than the reality. Because, Honorable Speaker, every person in this House is a leader, Honorable Speaker. It doesn't matter the positions you occupy in this house. We are here as leaders, all of us, with an equal voice to represent Kenyans. Secondly, Honorable Speaker, the point I was trying to make. We need an introspection, Honorable Speaker, and we check through facts. These sequential finance bills every year, what have they yielded? Other than instability when it comes to policies in terms of investments and decision-making, Honorable Speaker, of business people and economic actors. The third thing, Honorable Speaker, that I want to pinpoint, Honorable Speaker, Kenyans watch in horror, Honorable Speaker, and Kenyans, we are dismayed. We have seen different pronouncements, Honorable Speaker, from the same government addressing the same issue. We have seen the head of state, Honorable Speaker, talking about exemption, Honorable Speaker, of payee for the Kenyans earning below 30,000 Kenya shillings, Honorable Speaker. That has not been carried in here, Honorable Speaker. These kind of roadside creations, Honorable Speaker, are the ones we need to bring an end to, Honorable Speaker. But more importantly, Honorable Speaker, Kenyans earning below 30,000 shillings deserve a reprieve, Honorable Speaker. And especially in a situation where their pockets are raided from every direction, from the cost of living to taxes and levies, Honorable Speaker. Kenyans who are watching us expected that Kenyans earning below 30,000 shillings, Honorable Speaker, will be exempted from pay from this discussion, from this bill, Honorable Speaker.
Honorable Ndini, take your seat. Take your seat. The Honorable Kiplagat is on a point of order.
Order, Speaker. I don't know. I was wondering whether I'm transparent because I've been asking for a point of order for a very long time. But all the same, stop the noise. I'm on a point of order. Whether you like it or not, I'm on a point of order. Can I prosecute? Can you allow me to prosecute? Point of order, Speaker. Make noise. When you finish, I can contribute.
Honorable Kiplagat, please address the Speaker.
You see, I'm trying to make a statement and they are making noise.
You are on a point of order. You are not making a statement.
Okay. The point of order I'm raising on. The point of order I'm raising on. Honorable Ndini Nyoro, who is well versed in the current affairs, knows very well that what was happening between America and Iran, already there is a deal, and the deal will be signed on Friday, and that one has allowed the oil.
Honorable Kiplagat, take your seat. You are certainly on a point of argument. You'll get your time to make your argument. Honorable Ndini Nyoro, conclude.
Honorable Speaker, the other thing is the insinuations we've been hearing here around Mitumba, Honorable Speaker. Yes, we need to grow our own industries in Kenya. But, Honorable Speaker, it is always good to give a transition period. And I'm saying that because I've listened here some members making insinuations which are not correct, insinuating that there is no tax on Mitumba. Honorable Speaker, the fact of the matter is that the committee itself, purporting to have had public participants who are themselves manufactured by them, Honorable Speaker, is proposing in their report, Honorable Speaker, a 15% tax on Mitumba, Honorable Speaker. You cannot lie to Kenyans.
Honorable Ndini Nyoro, take your seat. The Honorable Kimani Kuria is on a point of order.
Honorable Speaker, the Honorable Member for Kiharu must withdraw the statement that he has made. He is saying that the public participants that came to the Finance Committee were manufactured people, Honorable Speaker. We have tabled here submissions of over 100,000 people across the country, Honorable Speaker. I have no capacity, Honorable Speaker, to manufacture 100,000 people, Honorable Speaker. The Honorable Member must either substantiate or withdraw that particular Honorable Speaker. And second, Honorable Speaker, he must show us
that is a fair request.
He must show us a clause in the bill that he is referring to, Honorable Speaker.
Honorable Ndini Nyoro, that you must do.
Honorable Speaker, I have never seen a situation where, in public participation, a person volunteers information for them to be taxed more, Honorable Speaker, for them to be taken through horror, Honorable Speaker. This is the first time, Honorable Speaker, that we are seeing, Honorable Speaker, purported public participants, Honorable Speaker.
Order. Order. Order, please. Order, please. You know we must be the orderly if we are going to debate. Honorable Ndindi Nyoro, you cannot stand at your place having said you yourself attended, then at the same time say the committee manufactured, participants. That one, I insist and I order you to withdraw.
Honorable Speaker, I attended as a participant. And actually, I requested through Parliament. And the more the reason they never carried my proposals, Honorable Speaker. The legitimate proposals were not carried, Honorable Speaker. I am not withdrawing.
Honorable Ndindi Nyoro. Honorable Ndindi Nyoro. Honorable Ndindi Nyoro. Honorable Ndindi Nyoro. I'm on my feet. Honorable Ndindi Nyoro, when the Speaker orders you to withdraw, and you see the Speaker asking for the standing orders, please don't take the Speaker the direction he does not want to go. Please withdraw. It is an order and it is not subject to review.
Honorable Speaker, because I'll be proposing amendments, and I don't want you to throw me out to disadvantage Kenyans, I withdraw. Honorable Speaker.
Order. Yeah, so the withdrawal is accepted, and let us avoid a situation in which we provoke unnecessary motions in debate. I sat here and I said all members need to have their time on the finance bill. Let us agree to continue in that manner.
Honorable Speaker, the point I'm making is this. I have sat here in this house and I've seen people purporting to direct members on how to debate. I am here telling Kenyans that this parliament through the committee is proposing an increment of prices on Metubas, Honorable Speaker. But they'll purport here, oh, show me the clothes, show me this. We are intelligent and Kenyans are intelligent. Even if you hide before and above, even if you hide below semantic.
Give the mic to the chair, Committee on Finance on a point of order. But maybe for clarity, are Metumbas taxed now? If so, what is proposed now? Could you just clarify that?
Honorable Speaker, and I really want to urge my comrade, Honorable Ndindi Nyoro, to take his time to read the bill. Just simple text of reading. Currently, Mitumbas in this country are taxed at standard rate of 16%. That is a fact. Now, as we speak, the VAT Act imposes 16% VAT on Mitumba. Once the importers of Mitumba sell those particular Mitumbas, Honorable Speaker, they are also subjected to 30% corporation tax on their profit, Honorable Speaker. What the bill is actually proposing is to exempt VAT, Mitumba from VAT. So the proposal here, Honorable Speaker, and that's why when we challenge you to, on fact, go to the, just simple read the bill, tell us, where are we increasing taxation on Mitumba? The bill actually is proposing to exempt Mitumba from VAT, and that is a fact.
Honorable Ndindi Nyoro, where are new taxes proposed on Mitumba?
Honorable Speaker, it is disappointing that the chairman has not read his own report, Honorable Speaker. And I kept saying here, we are debating the bill, but we are also debating the committee report, Honorable Speaker. And no one will purport here to guide me on how to debate. Kenyans will gauge who is talking the truth in the next few weeks.
Honorable Ndindi Nyoro. Honorable Ndindi Nyoro. Order, honorable members. Honorable Ndindi Nyoro, in which clause is Mutumba taxes being increased?
Honorable Speaker, I am repeating for the 18th time. I am at no obligation to tell anyone anything other than debating, Honorable Speaker. And Honorable Speaker, we are debating both the bill, but we are also debating the committee, Honorable Speaker. We cannot hide above and below semantics. Order! Order, honorable members.
I've given the majority leader the mic. So you will raise after the majority leader. Yeah, please, majority
Honorable
leader.
Speaker. Honorable Speaker, you know, my brother, Honorable Dindi Nyoro, says he's under no obligation to be directed, and in fact, nobody seeks to direct him. What the point of order the chair spoke on?
Hey, take your seat. Honorable Kwaguchia. That is honorable. When the speaker is on his feet, you take your seat. Honorable Majority Leader, proceed.
Honorable Speaker, I was saying the guidance you sought from Honorable Dindi Nyoro was on the clause that is taxing Mitumba in the bill or the proposal in the report of the committee that is proposing that. The chair has clarified that. And all that Honorable Dindi Nyoro is doing is now to throw words as the chair and the speaker because he cannot substantiate. And Honorable Speaker, I know people want to shout and mislead Kenyans on record. But we also have an obligation, Honorable Speaker, to set the record straight. Just like the Honorable Dindi Nyoro purported that there are roadside declarations on pay as you earn. And there is nowhere in our report or in the bill that pay as you earn was touched. But when the Cabinet Secretary appeared before this House last week, he did clarify that the proposal on pay as you earn is coming in a different proposal before the House to be considered by the House, and therefore all this heckling, Honorable Speaker, you know I'm the last person to be dissuaded by hecklers. I know they have been instructed that they must be here to come and heckle. But you must use your brains and intellect to debate, not to come and shout aimlessly in the House. Use your brains and intellect to debate, not to shout. When you shout, Honorable Speaker, you are simply exposing to Kenyans just like the leaders who are misleading people out there. You are not utilizing your heads.
We have standing. Honorable Wamboka. Honorable members, the time being 19:05 p.m., this House, order! Honorable Kibagendi, Honorable Majimbo Kalasenga, we are adjourning the House, please. Honorable members, and the time being 19:05 p.m., this House stands adjourned until Wednesday, the 17th day of June at 9:30 a.m.